Here is your podcast.
You know, I've been doing this show 9 years. In the beginning, it was great. I got to show up and just talk and leave. That was fantastic. But now Mex sends me this theme song, tells me to put my own voice in it. Lily shows up. She doesn't produce a goddamn thing. All she does is laugh, turn around, and go home. The only thing I don't wind up doing for this show is listen to it. That's your fucking job. Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Folks, I care about myself. I know a lot of you out there are thinking to yourself, maybe you don't. I know a lot of you people in this room here are probably thinking that I don't, but I promise I do. I know you're thinking to yourselves, well, if he cared about himself, he'd do this. Perhaps he'd do that. Or perhaps he'd do the other. Well, I'm here to tell you, someday I'll do this, and I might do that, and I'm fully ready to do the other. It's just a matter of doing it, right? And gathering yourself up, taking a step forward, putting one foot in front of the other, and pretty soon you're walking across the floor. And then you take one foot and put it in front of the other, and then you're walking out the door. And look what happens. Then you and the Winter Wizard make a fucking corn nugget of freezy stuff, and you break out of a jail, and then a penguin slides on his stomach, and everybody laughs. And then you grow a giant fucking beard, and you marry a chick named Linda or whatever the fuck her name was, and then you're bringing presents to kids. And the Burgermeister, who looks like your ex-mother-in-law, dies, and everybody's happy. The end. It's perfect.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's pretty close. At least that's the life I'm living. I don't know about you. That's the life I've carved out for myself. Hi. That's, you know what? Luckily, look, see who's here? It's Lily Von Strupp, the producer of the show. And I'll tell you what, not just in name only this week. Correct? She is actually producing the show this week. And I'm sure you're saying, you're like, well, what does that mean? Does it mean that she busts out her riding crop and smacks me with it? Can you hear that whipping past the microphone? That's an actual riding crop, folks. Do you think she's doing that to kind of wrangle me? You're a wrangler. You're a Schmitty wrangler. Or what else did she produce? Is she dressed up like Rita Moreno as the director from Electric Company and going, "Hey, you guys," into a megaphone? Is that happening?
God, I loved that show.
How great was it?
Oh.
You know what's infinitely worse? You know what literally is the opposite of the Electric Company? The new Electric Company. It's so terribly bad. I stumbled onto it once and I was like, well, let's see. Maybe they because here's what I wanted. Honestly, I thought it was like a reboot of the Electric Company and all the stuff we loved from the Electric Company, but just with like tykes and youngsters. Like, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. Usher in some new blood and have them do their thing. What was that noise? Was there a beep?
No idea.
You're the producer. What the fuck? All right. So there was a beep and there may be another beep here because someone else who lives in this house is watching 24. So we're here in, look, I'll answer all your questions. Hold on, folks. Paddles down. The auction has not begun yet. But I will tell you this. First of all, if it sounds weird to you, we're here, we're in the desert where Lily lives. We're out by the Hills Have Eyes. We're out by the Scorpions and Michael Berryman. That's where we are. And in her house, there is no carpet and it's a large expanse. It's a living room full of wigs and paintings. So, my voice ricochets off weirdly. Sometimes it bounces off a painting and it comes back sternly. Sometimes it gets lost in a wig, not unlike an Artie Johnson. Well, certainly, and they're very interesting. I'm not going to lie about that. But so we are wondering if there's an echo, and I will tell you this: I'm wondering if there's an echo because I don't have my earbuds. Normally, I plug them directly into the microphone. This shows a lot about what is going on in the moment. It used to be about my past, and now I don't have a past anymore. I just got a present. But I hope you're on board for that. I hope you're all happy with that. There's no future. I do not. There's absolutely no future. I could see that light in your eyes, and I snuffed it out immediately. I have zero future. Trust me, I've been cast aside. Because I'm a terrible person. All right, so at least that's what I hear. So
From who?
everybody. They're lining up outside right now. You got a whole Barbie garden of people throwing me messages telling me how terrible I am.
Yeah, that's what I have.
So I'm here in the wig painting house, and I don't have earbuds. So I'm just talking into the microphone. I hear me talking, but I don't hear me microphone style. I don't. I also don't hear myself Gangnam style. I can tell you that. Whoop, microphone style. Ding, 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 ding. I don't think there was a Banjo and Psy song.
There was.
Was there a song in a Banjo and Psy song? That guy disappeared, huh? You think
He's still huge there.
Where's there? Like that matters.
In Korea.
Big deal.
He's the king of Korea pop. Still.
Korea's illuminated with radiation. It's about to explode. They got how many uns do they have in that town? We're ready to blow the fuck out of it.
Fukushima.
Oh yeah, it's also irradiated. That's irradiated. But no, I'm talking about Korea because he's got bombs and he's testing ballistic missiles. Like I said, all the Yuns are in trouble over there. All the Yuns are pushing the envelope. The envelope. Oh my God, they're pushing the envelope in Korea. South Korea's just got to be freaked out. How shitty would that be to have the worst upstairs neighbor of all time? It's like if Canada was a dick. That would be so awful, right? We just literally, you just have to go up to fucking Michigan and use a broom to bang on the border and go, shut the fuck up there, eh? That's how Mexico feels. You think so? They're down on us? Come on.
Oh my God, Mexico thinks we're terrible right now, and I don't blame them.
I read some story. This is weird. It was just like a Black Mirror story, which, by the way, I haven't seen that show, but I know what it is. Black Mirror is a show on Netflix, and I've heard great things. I saw the pig fucker one, or I saw part of it anyway. What?
I don't Netflix or chill.
You know, it's funny. What? Yeah, that's a good point. I don't Netflix at my house. I should sign up. But this will make you laugh. I have a free 30-day trial of Netflix, courtesy of Screen Actors Guild, and also every AOL disc that they send to your house with a free 30. You know, I'm nobody fucking special is my point. But I don't do it because I don't want to start it until I can watch Netflix for 30 days in a row and get every fucking second I can out of that 30-second trial or 30-day trial. What if it's a 30-second trial? Hold on. I got to be honest. A 30-second free Netflix trial, I'm getting nothing out of that. But a 30-day trial, that's why I don't want to start the clock on it until I'm sure I have time to settle in and watch all the things I want to watch. You think that's weird?
There are so many. We've been here for 3 hours talking before the show started.
Maybe.
How do you ask the question, do I think you're weird?
All right, yeah. But I
We
don't.
had an entire therapy session today.
I don't know about all that.
And we worked. We set up stuff.
And look, we were here for 3 hours. We spent 1 hour and 55 minutes of that talking about blackface. So that was interesting.
We spent it talking about Instagram and setting up an Instagram account and a Facebook page and gathering assets that I asked for and doing things that we had to do. Business stuff.
And blackface.
And business stuff.
We've actually set up an Instagram and Facebook of us in blackface. You should check it out. It's
No,
terrific.
we have not.
Because I hear that's in now. I mean, you can do that, right? Nobody's protesting.
Not funny.
Look, this country has changed.
Not funny.
Are you saying that you're Mexican now and you don't care for our United States blackface?
Not funny.
Not
funny.
Are you? You're supposed to
Inappropriate.
well, are you Clive Clemens?
Inappropriate.
See, this is why we shouldn't talk off the air. Everything should be on the air. We should go ahead and expose this blackface controversy.
Okay, let's talk about it then.
No, let's not. Let's talk about blackface specifically, because
Let's talk about what we talked about before the show started.
I'm in blackface right now. Let's talk about that right now. I am. Podcasting is that's the last vanguard of blackface. Everywhere else, it's like a problem. You do it live on stage, you do a comedy show, but podcasting, you can totally wear blackface and get away with it.
Not funny.
No, it's fine. I mean, and people are on board with this.
It's not funny.
All right,
It's not appropriate.
Jared, you should be producing instead of telling me more about what's funny. I'm the writer.
I am producing. This is not appropriate content.
Does that fall under the rubric of producing?
That falls under the rubric of producing.
All right, should I
Telling
get
you
some?
what is good and not good to be talking about on the radio?
Perhaps I should get some Ruby's cold cream and clean this off of my face.
Oh my god.
I will clean this off of my face immediately if you don't think it's appropriate.
Stop.
No, all right, folks, I'm not really in blackface. I hate to do that behind the screen thing. I hate to do that behind the curtain. Behind anything. I don't want to be behind anything. I don't want to be behind the music. I don't want to be behind the movies. I don't want to be behind anything. But here I'm in Lily's a cavernous wig and painting emporium, and you hear my voice ricocheting all over the place. So we were wondering if there's an echo. Perhaps there's an echo this week. I don't know, because again, I don't have my earbuds in. And Lily again is the producer. And why is she the producer? You say? Well, because it takes a lot more than just pointing at me. But this is the first week in how long since you pointed at me to start?
I don't know, it's been 3 weeks.
Listen, man. Well, but even before that. But I mean, in a year and a half, you haven't pointed at me to start. Even when you're in the same room, I just start and you're here. I go, you ready? And then I go. And then I talk. Hear that? How's that for behind the scenes? That's what we were talking about earlier. And you know how hard it is to do. We are behind the podcast. I didn't want to be behind anything. God damn it! I just pulled away from the microphone. And I don't know if that was.
Behind the microphone.
I don't know if these people want me behind the microphone. I mean, honestly, I'm just talking. That's all that matters. All right. As a matter of fact, I have to slide the microphone closer here because I need it right up against me. I need whiskers to ping off of it while I'm trying to talk. When I say a protracted P sound, I need whiskers to flutter, and you need to hear it, as if it were a broom in a tornado. Well, that seems small. I think the whole broom goes. I don't think just the bristles go in a tornado, right? Maybe a broom in a stiff breeze. That's a lot of BRs. Let's have some breakfast. All right, so BR. So I'm here at Lily's, and she's producing, and I had to come here because she's half a fucking corpse at this point, and you know that. She's like, dude, anytime, because this always made me laugh. Like, she'd say it, and I know it's true, but when you hear it, you think it's horrible bullshit, and you're just like, nah, come on. But if someone, it sounds like the dumb thing you say to somebody in a restaurant because you want them to stop doing something that they're doing. Literally, this one, I'm allergic to smoke.
I know.
It's the stupidest thing. It sounds like, again, like you would say to somebody outside where you're just like, all right, idiot, put out the fucking cigarette. And they'd be like, no. And you'd be like, but I'm allergic to smoke. And they go, oh, sorry about that. Because you get rushed to fucking hospital with smoke measles or whatever the fuck. So she's allergic to smoke, and it causes her lungs to shrivel up, and then she breaks out in smoke measles, as we've mentioned, and she gets a terrible headache. She gets smoke mumps, and she gets a terrible headache, and she's all waylaid.
My throat closes and I can't breathe, which is awesome.
Secondary to the smoke mumps. Actually, they were on Lost, weren't they? Wasn't that the smoke mumps that fought all those people on Lost? I think it was. I couldn't remember the guy's name. Jack. Jack was on Lost. And Locke.
I don't know. I never watched.
And Kate. Jack and Locke and Kate. Kate was the hot fashion model who couldn't act, and they gave her a job anyway. And then all of a sudden she was an Ant-Man, I think. But I suppose she's a good actress. I don't know. What the fuck do I know? She's on Lost. I mean, of course she's a good actress. I'm sitting here in a fucking wig warehouse. Who the fuck am I to criticize anybody's performances? Jesus Christ. I can't call anybody out for their bullshit. We just talked about that too before the fucking show went on the air. I'm just like, you know, because she was telling me, she's like, oh man, someone will, like, because we're both Lily and I are 50. And social media seems to be more of a disease now than a cure. And so when we go on there and someone's like, I hate someone with long fingernails. It's so stupid when you see them trying to open a door and it can't believe. And they're really truthfully saying that. They're just like rattling because they don't have any balls to get out of their yards. So instead they've taken to the internet now because kids don't play outside anymore. Kids play video games. Nobody goes outside and goes, get your PlayStation controller out of my yard. That never happens. So old people have nothing to do but bitch on the goddamn internet all day. These kids today with their pants around their knees, why I oughta. I mean, holy fuck. They've become a nation of Johnny Dangerously's who just have open computers and fucking type a bunch of bullshit. So Lily and I hate that. But at the same time, I recognize I might be those guys. Like, because she's like, yeah, people are bitching about stuff, you know, like someone with eyebrows or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, I could talk for 10 minutes about fucking eyebrows. And she's like, but you're a professional. It's your job to talk about eyebrows. And I was like,
to talk nonsense.
but there's nothing more depressing than that, really, when you get down to it, when you think about it. Although that's something I talk with Shannon about all the time, because she's just like, what is manly to you? Like, what would you think would be manly? Because we were having that conversation.
I would love to hear the answer to that question.
Well, no, there's no answer. It's just I punch you in the face and then I walk out. There you go.
That's what you consider manly? Aggressive, testosterone, anger?
Yes. No, I'm teasing. There's all sorts of things. Fixing things. If I could hold a screwdriver and actually put something up. That's why I'm always so accomplished when I do shit. I actually told Shannon this week, like when I one time I made a steak and I made a whole dinner. For Jill once, and I was all excited. I put up a picture, and Pat came in because my friend Pat's a fucking thumb in the eye, and he wrote, "Congratulations, you do the thing I do every night for my daughters the past 10 years." And I refused to let him kill my buzz. I just cooked a fucking steak. I made an awesome spicy slaw and some fantastic potatoes. Get the fuck out of here! I'm sorry, you've chained yourself to the responsibility of making dinner for everybody. I mean, I fucking made one and it was great.
You became aggressive that someone mocked the fact that you were excited that you did what people do every day to survive.
If I give you a fucking picture, put it on the fridge and shut the fuck up.
Oh, there's issues.
That's right.
Oh my
Don't
God.
fucking
Did you
go.
talk about this and that?
Don't be like anybody could draw a globe. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's an awesome globe. Now put it on the fridge. Yeah, but I don't think America's red. Get it on the fridge. I don't want to hear you and your bullshit.
Special.
Yeah, so when I put something up on social media, just be like, yay. That's what you got to do.
You don't,
Yay.
You yell about people who want gold stars by posting shit on Facebook
Right?
all the time.
See, I'm a dichotomy.
Like, you're not a dichotomy.
I'm a coin flip. I'm a little different. I get all that stuff, okay? I'm burnt toast on one side and then clean toast on the other. What side do you butter? What side do you bite? What side do you scrape? Who knows? That's the difference of me. How do you scrape me? Where do you butter me? Think about it and get back to me. I want to know. I put it to you guys. Let's put up a poll. Where do you butter me? Where do you scrape me? Or actually, it should be, because because there's, honestly, that gives too much play in the answer. It should just be, what do you do with Mike? Butter or scrape? But then only one side of me's burnt. You can't scrape that. You know, I actually like a good burnt toast every once in a while. You know how people like to drink coffee and they're like, oh, it's kind of bitter, but I kind of like it. That's how I feel about burnt toast. But not like super burnt. Like I wouldn't want it black and smoking. Now, I'll tell you what, blackface and smoking, that's some toast I can choke down. Oh, that's delicious. You want to know what side to scrape? Scrape my face. That's what you got to scrape at this point. Boy, can you hear how different the show is when Lily's in the room? It's not just me torturously staring at my desk and going, you got to talk to people. You got to talk to people this week, goddammit. No, it's fun. It's enjoyable. I get to have a new producer who's in here and having fun with me, and she's excited.
Okay, I've created the poll. No one will understand it.
But no one will vote. But no one will vote on it either. That's the thing. Is like because I will put up stuff on fucking social media, and I'll be like, hey, everybody, this is awesome. And like I said, I just want people, yay. But instead, everybody else puts on their Groucho mustache and lights a cigar. Here's my chance to shine. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even. What did you write?
What do you do with Mike? Butter or scrape? 2 options.
Oh, Jesus. Would you put it in the fan club page, I hope, or on your own personal page?
I put it in the fan page. I'm not a monster.
Well, I don't know what you're thinking. You know, you're trying to generate traffic to your page with a butter or scrape question. That's a lot of people. That happens on the internet. People they usurp your idea and they go, ha, check out my page instead with the butter and scrape. It's like when people retweet something, but they quote it and then they put their own little joke above it. I mean, I do that sometimes, but then I'm like, I don't like that. So I make sure to go to that person's page and like that tweet and then retweet their tweet, but not without a guy who wants to tag a joke. Fuck that. Fuck everybody.
So would that be the buttering or the scraping right there?
We'll check the poll, see what they say.
I'll be updating it during the show.
I'm sure you
The best
will.
part is because we're not live, they don't know what it means.
Well, they have no idea, which is good.
Which I think makes it all.
Well, I got news for you. Even when the show's over, they're gonna know it. I said it. I don't know what it means. That was like the equivalent of like when you hit a cue ball off all of the fucking the cushions and it goes nowhere. That's what I scratched. That joke was a scratch. If this game was pool, I just fucking verbally scratched. All right. So, what the hell are we talking about? So, you know, I'm here at Lily's house. I'm here at Wig World and Painting Place. And so we think there's an echo because it's a large room. There's too many lights on, as always.
We know there's an echo because I do sound, and when you have no anything to absorb sound in, it all bounces back. So the show is going to sound hollow this week. Send your complaints to someone who fucking cares at gmail.com.
This show
ain't me.
This show is hollow every week. Let's be honest. There's nothing at the center of this show. Who do you think you are? So my favorite part is that little diatribe right there where you thought you were trying to get a point across. All I heard you say was, I work sound. So like you're all braggy. Like, I've worked sound before. I'm fancy. I worked in radio and you're just an amateur dummy. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. All right. You're taking me to task for my producing skills and how they are nil compared to yours.
I'm not taking you to task for production
You just
skills.
did. You were like,
teaching you something.
you were like a.
It is an echo. We don't question that. We know.
No, but yeah, that's you being a producer Godzilla stepping on my
I am a producer Godzilla.
stepping on my producer Japanese guys in the street. You just stomped on 14 of them and crushed them into
I had to make this about race.
a bloody smear. I didn't. That's where Godzilla lives. That's where Godzilla lives. That's not about race at all. Am I to say that? Look, odds are if Godzilla's stomping around Japan, guess who's getting stomped? I said Japanese guys because that's where he lives.
So Godzilla's racist?
He's not looking.
I don't know how all of this works. I
Well,
don't know how racism works.
I see. Well, what am I wearing on my face? That'll tell you everything.
You are not.
Well, you know what? That's a good point. What if Godzilla went to Sweden? Does he like tiptoe around and not hit a building and then some Japanese dudes walk out and he's like, ha ha, and he stomps them out? What if that's the thing? What if Godzilla just hates Japan? I've seen the movies. He fucking hates Japan. There's no getting around that.
I do.
And Raymond Burr. He doesn't care for Raymond Burr very much.
He is a radicalized Japanese. What was he originally?
He's a lizard.
Lizard. So he's a radicalized Japanese lizard. So if he's attacking Japan, then he's a domestic terrorist.
Wow. I don't care for this. We've stumbled upon a theory about Godzilla. You know, we got to get this to the authorities, quite frankly. I don't know. I don't know what you and I are sitting on this for. We got to go ahead and share this with the world just in case. Japan thinks they're all safe. You know, they've already turned they've already got like talking mushrooms and squash with eyes in that fucking country thanks to Fukushima. That's not fucking good. You know, you can still and there's some dude, I read some story about a dude who opened a shop there. He's just like, nah, you know, I'm like 70. I don't have any time to live. And I'm like, so you're selling what? Irradiated shrunken heads? Like, what the fuck are you possibly, like, what shop did you open? And who's shopping there? Who's like, hey, you know what? I need a squash with eyes. We need to head over to Fukushima, like, right this minute.
The auditoriums there are just packed.
Oh my God, sure. With the ghosts of those left behind. waiting for the next tsunami. Yeah, that was brutal. I watched the tsunami on TV. Well, we were doing the show back then, weren't we?
Yeah.
I actually got a pizza and watched it. That was what made me laugh more than anything. And so now, when I see what Trump's doing in our country, he's just like this orange tsunami, and I'm just like, well, I should get a pizza and watch the destruction that's going to happen here. But then they run that fucking shell game, and I can never figure out where the ball is. Like they're just like, ha ha ha, healthcare's over here. Well, no, it's not over here. And hey, by the way, we lied, or maybe we didn't lie. Look in the microphone. I even say cheese. Because now microwaves take your photos, or maybe they don't the next day. That's what they'll say. They'll be like, it's so ridiculous. All right, I'm baffled. So I come here to Lily's house to do the show, this hollow show, as she's so miserably called it. She doesn't care for it. She doesn't like this show.
I never said any of that.
Subtext. So I arrived here, and when I was leaving the house, I had to write her, and I'm like, what do you want? Do you want me to bring some stuff? I said, do you want food or a beverage or a Sibian? Do you want any of those things? And she's like, and she doesn't answer any of my texts because she's very important, I suppose. And then I had to call her. I actually had to call her. Like it was 1977. I had to call her on a goddamn phone and talk to her. And then I said, all right, I'm leaving my house now. And I grabbed, here's what I bring to her house. I have to bring, so the whole point is she couldn't come to my house because, again, allergic to smoke or some other bullshit. She got a bad eye, she got a bad wheel, she got a bad jaw, she's got a bad, isn't your hand fucked up too or something like that?
I'm just a mess.
She's got like carpal tunnel of the face. I mean, she's got all these weird things happening. And so she's like, yeah, I can't make it by you. Because last week, remember I told you, it was the day without a woman, as we talked about. That's why Lily could not arrive. But also she was really sick from a lot of things. And she was sick again this week. Because apparently America has not gotten the word that she is allergic to everything. So please stay away from her. And don't touch her. And please stop at the open mouth kissing.
And don't drink out of my soda water.
Yeah, I did that. So what am I going to get? Am I going to be allergic to smoke now?
That might be how it works.
Yeah, I accidentally drank her water. And it was Arrowhead, so it tasted like rocks.
You said it tasted like...
Advice.
Advice.
Well, because you were giving me advice at the time. Maybe that's how you were transferring your advice to me. You spit it into the bottle and then I drink it. Isn't that from... Are you Kizzy? Maybe you're Kizzy. Are you Kizzy from Roots? That was Leslie Uggams, right?
I don't know.
That's a powerful scene. Kizzy from Roots, when she, Sandy Duncan, she cared for Sandy Duncan when they got up and they were young, and Sandy Duncan was really nice to her and stuff. But then they got older, and Sandy Duncan shows up in like a horse-drawn carriage or whatever the fuck, and she's like, I want a glass of water, and she doesn't recognize Kizzy, and she's mean to her, and they killed her son or whatever the fuck, and so Kizzy takes the water, and I'll never forget it. She takes the water and goes, and she spits in Sandy Duncan's water and gives Sandy Duncan the water, and then Sandy Duncan drinks it and goes, ow, my eye!
I didn't think that.
That second part might not be true. But that scene is very powerful because Kizzy spits in Sandy Duncan's water when she had been so close to her as a youth, but then Sandy Duncan didn't stick up to her when the Roots came and tore apart her house. The band The Roots. That's what happened.
I'm not sure you saw the same movie I saw.
I don't know. I don't. Roots is like an American Godzilla. It was like,
I'm not.
except it stepped on black people.
I don't think you understand.
Well, I was young when it came out. It was like 1977, so I may have made up a lot of that. But I remember being terrified of the Roots. They were very scary. And it lasted for a week. LeVar Burton was there, and he was fucking Kunta Kinte, and then they beat him up, and then he was Toby, and then fucking O.J. Simpson was on there, and he killed all the white people, and holy fuck, I was so scared of the Roots. He might be getting out of jail, I heard, O.J. Simpson.
I saw that too.
They said he might be getting a parole hearing. And they said this, and my favorite thing was what they said was if he gets out immediately, there'll be like reality TV show producers waiting to meet him as he walks out the gate.
Yeah, it's gross. I guess people watch it, right? Like, I don't understand who watches fucking Tiny House Nation or Let's Fuck a Midget or any of those other stupid shows that are on Bravo. No, I think there is. Fuck that. It's like, literally it's called like Tiny Little Wee Specks of Love. And it's like midgets who go out on dates together. And it's like, man, I don't give a fuck about that. Or there's like a family of midgets raising more midgets. You also don't give a fuck about anybody going out on dates. You don't watch reality shows.
Right. But I don't understand. I don't know who's tuning in. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie to you. I'll watch the first half of a 600-pound life. All right, I'll go ahead. I'll watch 300 pounds worth. I'll watch about 300 pounds worth of my 600-pound life. You're making a face. You've never seen it?
No.
Oh, well, what do you think it's about?
Is the first half all about gaining weight?
No.
And the second half about the work to lose it?
No, it's a show about golf carts that can't control themselves and continue eating and getting fat. It's a show about Volkswagens that can't get out of bed. It's a show about monstrous fat people. So it's people who weigh like 800 pounds, 1,000 pounds, and they're sleeping on their reinforced beds and eating.
Talk about how they got to that point and what happened and the psychological effect.
This is the weirdest thing. You know how they got to that point?
What?
Laying in bed, eating Taco Bell, watching My 600-Pound Life. It's just. This show is a fucking hamster wheel of fat people. I mean, it's fucking crazy. People eat and watch, and the next thing you know, cameras are at their door. After 2 years of watching, they're like, hey, can we film you? You're like, I've been waiting for my big chance. Hold on, let me finish this hoagie. That's great. It's a hamster wheel of fat. That's gorgeous. It's a show where there's fat people. And look, yeah, they try some maudlin bullshit about...
Why do you watch only the first half? I don't get it.
Because then they start to fix them. I don't want to see them get fixed. I want to see the teardown, man. I want to see them fucking wash themselves with a rag on a stick. I want to see them. There was this one chick once, and she walked into the bathroom. Walked is strong, but she fucking barreled into the bathroom somehow. Her inertia took over, and gravity sucked her in. She wasn't even trying to go. She stood up and just kind of leaned forward, like those fat guys in those sumo suits at the goddamn bars when they go and they wrestle. And she just kind of leaned forward, was like, whoa, and she ran as much as she could and lands in the bathroom, and she's taking a shower. Again, shower very strong. Water is running in the shower. She can't get in the bathtub, so she's like sitting on the toilet. And here's how gross, all right, look, and I don't mean gross, whatever. Here's how things have gotten away from them. They're so fat. They can be naked on camera, and they don't have to like blur anything because everything's hidden by their own fat. Yeah. Like, the next time one of them sees a nipple will be the first. And I don't even want to deal with the rest of it because I was a fat dude. So I mean, I know the complications and the weirdness about all that shit that's going on, but not like this kind of fat. Like this chick there was a chick, she's sitting on a toilet. It's the one that I'll never forget. And she's got a scrub brush and she takes it and she just plunges it into her folds all the way up to her wrist and it's gone. I mean, it's gone. I don't know where it went. I don't know. It looked like I was waiting for Chris Angel to hop out and go ta-da. I mean, it was that fucking bad. So it was just crazy, because that's literally that's how they got to wash and scrub a dub and whatever the fuck. And that's the beginning of the show. And then they paint all the sad sackery. You know what I mean? And they're like, I broke my bed, boo-hoo, all that nonsense. But then there's this one doctor who's in charge of everything. And then he shows up and he's like, I can fix you, but you've got to stop eating. And they're like, oh, no, I don't want to stop eating. And then there's that controversial argument. And the saddest part is all the fucking human shrapnel around them. Like, there'll be fat people, but they became those fat people because they're being enabled. Yeah. So they're laying in a bed, and the one that I remember the most, again, was a woman. She was in bed, and she was a mom. And her son was like, I think he was 32, might have been 18. I don't know, but he was one of those weirdos. Well, the thing was, he looked like he was 32, but I think he was 18 because he had aged prematurely from taking care of this fucking monster. And also he had grown a wispy mustache to try to seize the day on some sort of maturity or adulthood. And it just looked bad. But then he'd walk around wearing like a Saxon shirt. You know what I mean? He's wearing like a bad concert shirt, but he's got this wispy mustache. And he's playing video games while she's moaning for food. Just grim. And honestly, he never broke away from her. That's the thing, is she kept him tied so he didn't get a chance to be an adult. His life's being ruined. He doesn't get to go find a girlfriend. He doesn't get to go live life because he's chained to her, filling her fucking navel with fruit cups so she can get it through the goddamn night. And it's fucking terrible. So
you never watched the second half to see them get through the psychological and break through the emotional and go through the dietary and come out the other side?
Never's a strong word. I've looked at the second half, okay? I prefer the first half when everything's horrible.
Okay, so is that the burnt toast or the butter side?
Oh, that's the butter side. I like the butter side. The burnt toast is the back end.
Is the hard work.
Where everybody's happy.
Oh my God, everybody! I think we just had a breakthrough here.
No, I don't think so. But the fucking thing is, like, but the best part is when someone's like a sourpuss and doesn't go along with the doctor's plan, and then he's just like, well, I can't help you anymore. I've only seen him give up on 2 people, and at the end, then they show the one at bingo. She was eating chalupas. She's like, I don't need to listen to no doctor.
So if you were on that show.
What the hell? Don't wish.
So-called 270-pound life.
That seems light.
Okay, 230, 280. What are you? I don't know.
No, it's not good these days.
Okay, so 300. Okay.
At least.
So if you were on my so-called 300-pound life, and the doctor came in, would you let them film the first half and then literally go, "Oh, the work part? Get the fuck out of here."
Wow. But then, no, because I gotta watch me.
That's what I'm saying. We were talking earlier about people who bitch about things that they don't like, and it's usually because it's something they don't like that they see in themselves. So do you think that you see this?
Oh,
and you
quit
see
trying to
yourself
prove a
as
fucking
monster?
point. No, you're trying to prove a point now, Godzilla. No, I'm not interested.
Point. We're continuing the therapy.
This could not be less therapy. You're just trying to expose me in the shadow of the
I'm
wigs.
not exposing, but I'm like, there's definitely a pattern here.
I don't agree.
You don't
So-
even want to watch the second half where the good stuff.
Well,
happens.
that's not the good stuff. I don't need to see that guy do a lap.
But
Go eat
that
a fucking
is the good
sandwich.
stuff, because
No,
that's how they change their life and they come out on the other side.
they're good for
Happy
them.
and healthy.
But that's for them. That's not what I want to see. I want to watch a fucking train wreck. I want to watch roller derby. I don't want to fucking see you get happy.
But is that
This isn't the Partridge Family.
The shit that drives you crazy about yourself?
Nothing drives me crazy about myself. I'm perfectly fine. I don't know who you're thinking of.
You guys can get him at Mike at Mike's Comedy.
See, you're judging blackface me right now at this
I'm
point.
not judging anything. I'm asking a question. There's rarely judgment in my heart.
All right. Well, it's because your heart's allergic to smoke. So
Lots of smoke in it.
So the first half of the show, again, it's ideal because it's them being sad and terrible and awful and wandering around, which is perfect. That's entertainment. Nobody wants to see your arc. I don't want to see your stuff. You know what? I don't want to see your arc, Orca. I want to see your Orca. That's it. In the first half, it's like it's like if you watch some fucking seafood show and like the whale was all like bullshit. Actually, it's like a Free Willy if he went to jump out over the rock and then he hit like an invisible barrier and he fell back down into the water. See, that's a better movie. He crushes the kid on the way out.
Oh, the redemption and the savior and the fixing and the becoming happy.
But they're not
Good
really
part.
redeemed and they're not really saved.
not?
Because at the end of it, they're just like, because they get down to what, 400 pounds now? And they're like, yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm going to go out and drive around and buy a carrot. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. Nobody wants to see that shit. I want to see you.
wants to
No, go home and eat soup out of the drawer because you're hiding from your kids. Literally. Like the kid will be like, all right, here's all your Taco Bell. And she'll be like, thanks. And he'll walk out and she'll open like the drawer next to her. And there's like literally like a cauldron, a slow cooker full of roast. And she just pulls up and eats a whole chicken. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. If there was a show with just fat people fucking shit up, I'm in. I'll watch that. Just give me like, and not those eating contests either. I want it in the wild. I want it in their natural habitat. Nobody needs to sit at a long table and eat 50 hot dogs. However, if you sit in your den in the dark and eat 50 hot dogs while watching Adult Swim, I will watch that all fucking night. And I will keep track and I will keep count. I'm pitching that show to fucking Adult Swim. How great is that? If you just had a show where a fat dude showed up and literally he doesn't even talk to the camera. He doesn't even acknowledge you. He's watching what you're watching. He's like a picture in picture. So like if he's watching the Eric Andre show or whatever the fuck, and you're both watching it together, but in the corner you see he like eats a hot dog and then another and then another. It's just bing, 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 and it's keeping track. How many hot dogs could you eat in 15 minutes while watching Eric Andre? Because that fucking weird contest with Kobayashi and the other dude, the fucking American guy who beat him. Like fuck all that. Nobody wants to see you standing on a stage and people cheering because that's the dumbest thing in the world. That's so fucking American. It's pathetic. We're cheering for guys eating fucking food, but then
rather watch them eat it in shame in the dark.
yes, because that's where you belong.
We have an issue.
No, we don't. That's where you belong.
Ding, ding, ding. Do we have a bell?
Incorrect. No, if you're cheering for people to eat a bunch of food on stage, that's because again, getting to what America is. Okay, yes, we were like, yay, he ate 75 hot dogs, but then afterwards, if you see a fat guy eating a hot dog, you're like, fuck that fat guy eating that hot dog. It's like, hey, if he was on stage in New York, you'd go crazy for him and think he was the best. Quit pigeonholing fat people with that nonsense. When in reality, if you rooted for him at the fucking Cantor's place, you'd root for him anywhere else. Cantor's? No, Cantor's, but that's us. Who does the dog eating contest? It's the New York one.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember.
Cassie, Calliope. Is it a C? Who the fuck? Frankfurt. No, because they're Frankfurters. God damn it.
Yeah, it's one of them. But
Raymond's. Norman's?
No, here's the thing that I don't understand.
Okay, you talk while I think of the hot dog joint because it's going to drive me out of my...
Okay.
Nathan's. Bang. All right, done.
So here's the thing I don't understand, though. It's
Yes.
like, why do we have to have shame associated? Why can't we have both celebration and redemption?
Because it's reality TV and it should be shame-based at all times.
I disagree. Why do we have to have shame? Why can't we just be happy?
Well, that's other countries. This is America. Other countries can be happy. Trust me, I've been to Kuwait. They're all happy there. Like they don't judge anybody. Guys live with their parents until they're 75 years
They
old.
don't
Everybody's
judge
like,
anybody?
in Kuwait? You guys don't count.
Women don't count.
No,
Yeah.
in Kuwait, no. Bullshit. Because in Kuwait, ladies are ladies. People are people. Depeche Mode would fit in very well in Kuwait.
Yeah, ladies are ladies. How much rights do ladies really? Let me ask you this: well would I go over in Kuwait?
Well, I mean, if you wore what you're wearing right now, there may be a question mark.
There may be rocks thrown at me.
You are wrong. See, that's why I went there, to learn and discover and to carve out a niche for us when we move there. See, now I've made this happen. You are, though.
But seriously, do you think that me and my mouth would be accepted anywhere there?
Well, you're having trouble in America. Let's be honest with ourselves.
I know.
So, I mean, that's an unfair question, quite frankly.
And again, I'm not bitching about Kuwait. But
I think the whole reason Mexico doesn't like us is because of you. That's why they're banging on the border. Shut her up. Si, senor. Donde esta Big Mouth? I don't know, because you know what? They have traditions.
Their culture is different.
Well, they have
That's what I'm
culture and
saying.
traditions and things like that. Yeah, I told you when I was there, I didn't meet Ahmad's sister. She
You
literally.
meet any women?
Well, I mean, yeah, I met some for coffee. We had a little nice discussion.
I don't believe that to be true.
I went on Tinder.
I don't believe that to be true at all.
And I swiped right on a lot of these babes in their who had great eyes in their hijabs. No, man, I did I meet women? No, because I asked up front. I go, can I talk to women? Can I go up to them and say hello? Or is it wrong to make eye contact and smile? And he's just like, no, dude, do whatever you want. And I told you my most favorite moment the first trip was I was in the mall and a woman walked by and she had, again, because this is the thing, the only thing you can show in there is their eyes. So I mean, like your feather boas, that's basically their fake eyelashes. I'm these giant Henrietta Hippo from the New Zoo Review, fucking crazy made up eyes. And I made eye contact with this woman and I could see, because you can tell from eyes a lot. She's young, whatever. And I looked at her and I smiled at her and she smiled back and I could see her eyes because she smiled because her eyes, I absolutely fucking knew. That's why I knew. And that's why it was such a great moment. Cause he's like, yeah, dude, you can do any of that. But then later on, his sister walked right past me. And I go, who was that? He goes, that's my sister and her friend. And I'm like, well, I don't get an introduction. And he's like, no, that would be weird. And I'm like, really? And then he said, there are people I went to school with who don't know my sister.
Yeah.
And I said, what? And then I met the people who went to school with, and of course it made perfect sense to me. I'm like, you don't want your sister hanging around with Blind Abdullah. I know, that's wrong. They were all cool.
But we're not in a different culture. We're in this culture. And why should it be shameful? Why can't it simply be just what it is? And you either get help to be healthy if that's the issue that you're having, because if you can't get into a bath and out of a bath, that seems a little unhealthy. But why does it have to be shame-based?
People can do whatever they want. I'm telling you what I prefer to watch on my television. I don't give a fuck. Make the most enlightening, cool-ass show in the world. I'm just going to turn off the last 20 minutes because I don't give a fuck. I want to see this dude break shit. I want to see him roll over. I want to see him bring in a power washer and scrub out his fucking groin. I want all that to happen. Yeah.
So you literally want everything to be a bear on a bicycle and a dancing monkey in a circus.
How fat's the bear?
You're an idiot.
How fat is that monkey? Look, of course, we're having some fun here. Certainly there's hyperbole. And I don't recommend all fat people do those things. And I don't recommend all fat people go on the fat person show and go, boo-hoo, I'm fucking fat and sad, and then get switched around. And even though I tried to do that, I tried to go on, it wasn't Biggest Loser. What was the one I went for? Tommy Lee's fucking weight loss show.
Rock of Life? Rock of Love?
No, man, he did a fucking show. Tommy Lee did some fucking bullshit reality thing for VH1. It was like Tommy Lee's celebrity fucking workout camp. I don't know. And you know what? I think I did go for Biggest Loser. Who was the one I met at Reality Ranch? Because I was fucking hysterical in the interview. I was just a monster.
You weren't big enough, right?
No, I was big enough, but they just never. They kept asking me about my heartwarming bullshit, and I didn't want to talk about any of it.
Yeah.
They were just like, "Have people made fun of you because of your weight?" I'm like, not really. No, I mean, I came on like a stiff prick, and I was funny and sarcastic, and I made one guy laugh. The other person you could see wanted nothing to do with me because they wanted me to be.
Tell the narrative.
Well, they wanted a sad sack. They wanted someone to be like, they're like, how about girls? Do you have trouble with girls? And I'm like, well, I'm married. I've been married for a long time, but I didn't have trouble with girls before. I go up, and they'd be like, yeah, but did you get like made fun of by girls in school? And they kept trying to spin that weird ass narrative. And it's just like, well, no, I'm not going on the show to be your fucking, your house fat Negro. You know what I mean? I'm going to go in and I wanted to be the guy who everything revolved around. I wanted to be a smart ass, but also but I knew when I got in the house, I would murder everybody because I would not eat and I would work out and I would walk out of there like a fucking machine because I was prepared for it. I was like, all right. I wanted to be the dude. I wanted to be pie eating contest me. I wanted to finish races and just stand there with my arms crossed and be like, oh, it's like a nightmare, isn't it? Holy fuck. Look at you fat slobs. Nobody can fucking make this bear crawl like me. Like I would have been a total monster. It would have been hilarious. Reality shows need a monster. So I figured I'll position myself in the monster role. But they're like, did you ever look at a bowl of soup and get sad? And it's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to get on your show and give us some personality. I'll also lose weight and be a machine, but also I'll totally mock everybody and be hysterical. I'll be like the New England Patriots of fucking fat.
Do you think they want a bully on the show?
Why not? Get a goddamn bully on the show. Doesn't that make you want to watch a show better? Everybody watches The Biggest Loser and it's like, hey man, fucking put your cello away. I don't want to hear a sad fucking note on this show. I want to see guys eating pudding and other guys laughing at them. That's how I want to fucking make my show happen. And I want to be the dude just pointing. I'm going to hang out with the counselors. I'm going to be the cool ass guy. Everybody else in fucking summer camp can go off and eat their bullshit and hide their candy bars under their mattress. Everybody else can be Private Pile with a fucking dog-filled locker of goddamn candy bars. I'm going to be fucking Arlie Ermy. And I'm going to be like, Private Pile, you eat it, they paid for it. And I'll just be that motherfucker, even though I'm a contestant. And everybody like, why are you like yelling at the other contestants? And I'll be like, because I run this fucking yard. I'll turn the fucking Biggest Loser into a goddamn prison yard. I run this yard. This is my yard, goddammit. That's how reality should be. Shame-based. All reality is shame-based. So why not make reality TV the same? Nah, The Biggest Loser, again, like I said, it's like they all show up and they're like, I was so hungry, I ate yarn. I mean, it's like, hey, okay, well, you've hit the depths of despair. And now I'm here to do a push-up. Well, great, I guess I'll watch you and I'll root for you in some weird way. Here, everybody eat this Fruity Pebble. Oh, God, no. It's fucking terrible and sad. I don't want to see that. I want to see that woman who lays in bed and eats chalupas until her eyes spin like a slot machine. That's what I want to fucking watch.
Oh, man.
And then I want to see her son slowly watch his existence slip away in his mom's maw. He's just sitting there watching her shove fucking beef chalupa after beef chalupa down her fucking throat. And he's just like, well, I like playing Zelda till I'm 70. That's going to be fine. I've never seen a pussy in my life outside of a fucking internet. So I've got no interest in that. There's no reason for me to go think about ever having a relationship with a woman or a person, because the only relationship I'm going to have is with this fucking fat ghost who continues to send me on food runs. See, now that's interesting. Sounds like you don't agree. So there may be an echo with this show is what I was trying to say. Because we're here and we're at the house and there's, again, like I said, it's a wig emporium and all these things. And there's paintings and they're mocking me. And there's a woman in the woods staring at me and other boob impression paintings. And you think I'm kidding. There is a painting that's made with tits. She's got her friend who made her paintings with tits, right?
Yes.
And they're both with tits?
Her ass is also on there.
Yeah, not enough. Because I know who painted these, and honestly, I got to think that her tits would be a better brush, or her ass would be a better brush.
Well, the whole background is her ass. The color highlights her tits. Whatever. We have results in.
Results from?
Butter is leading 2-0 over Scrape.
Gee, look at it. See, look at my social media presence dominating the world.
Oh, but it's weird.
Okay.
Because Guffaw was added as an option.
Someone tampered with your poll?
Yeah, they've added their own option, and that also has 2 votes at this point, and they don't even know what they're voting about.
How did someone hack your poll? I don't care for that.
I left it open that you could add a different option.
Why would you do that?
Nancy Bills put, shouldn't Dougie be an option, which I think is very funny.
Dougie?
Yeah.
Well,
What would
first
you do with Mike? Dougie, of course. That's what I would do.
you're gonna have to teach me first.
Should I add on there? Go on a reality show?
No, don't add any of that sort of stuff. Well, it's weird that because you yelled at me. You're like, why didn't you put the camel video and all this other bullshit online? And I'm just like, I don't know, because nobody cares. Because that stuff's all cool in the moment, but then I'm like, nobody wants to see those things. So then I put up, a video of me eating kebabs or me throwing. I will say this, I put up a video of me touring the bombed out town. I'll get to Kuwait next week probably, unless we talked about it today. I don't even know, because all right, here's why I can't. Oh, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
So
well, we haven't talked about why it's an echo in here.
I guess we haven't. So I'm at Lily's. There's an echo. And why is she producing, you're asking? Because I said she's producing for the first time. Well, I texted her this morning and I'm like, I might go to Tamale House and grab some stuff. She said, okay. And so I grabbed, in my house, I've got to grab my cooler full of water. I got my laptop, I grabbed my microphone, and then I head over to Lily's house. So in my head, I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, laptop, cooler. And I always leave the house with my cooler and I throw it over my shoulder. And so then when it's on my shoulder, you can leave the fucking house. So I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, cooler, laptop, microphone, cooler, laptop, microphone. Don't forget the microphone, because I have forgotten the microphone before. And I grabbed stuff and I'm putting it aside. And then I went to walk out the door and I was like, fuck, I forgot my water. And so I walked back inside and I looked and I had to grab a bottle of water. And I was like, all right, cool. Water, cooler, and microphone. Let's go. So I grab, because that's 3 things. I only needed 3 things, and my cooler's on my shoulder, so I know I can leave the house. And because it's like when I have to go, wallet, keys, phone, 3 things. And you know what's funny? I have a Kuwait story that relates to this as well. I will tell you at another time. But yeah, so it's like wallet, keys, phone, that's 3. I do the 3 count in my head and I know I can walk out the door. So I was like, all right, 3 things. I need just 3 things. I go water, microphone, and cooler. Water, microphone, cooler. Cooler's on my shoulder. I can walk out the door. So I split. I text her. She doesn't answer because she's very fucking important. And I leave and I had to take a different way because the 101 freeway on its way out here was crowded, full of red on my Google Maps. And it was like a 24-minute trip to go whatever amount of miles, which is like, that's because normally it's like 14 minutes. Like I don't got 10 extra minutes. Who the fuck am I? Fucking time bandit? No. So I had to go the back way. I had to go the 170 and I'm not going to give you directions directly to her house, but you just drive as far as the crow flies. That's pretty much it. So I came here and then I texted her. I'm like, all right, I'm at this place, and she didn't answer me, and so I had to fucking call her again. And I said, I'm at the tamale house. What do you want? And she's like, oh, I don't really want any tamale house. But I said, what, nothing? And she goes, what about chips and salsa? I said, all right, cool. So they had chips. I will tell you what, I love tamale house, but they really don't speak English. Like they really don't. That'll tell you again where Lily lives. They have to go get a woman out of the back to understand me when I talk. So, and she's barely on it. You know what I mean? She's just, okay. And I'm explaining I wanted fucking eggs with onion and whatever the fuck, and a couple of tamales. And then I said, I need chips. And they said, okay, chips $1. And I said, pardon me? She goes, chips $1? No. And I went, no, that's fine. Like, I almost thought if I went no, she'd just give me for free. Like, all right, cool. Here's some free chips. And then Lily wanted salsa, but she wanted pico de gallo. She wanted chunky salsa. So I go over to the salsa bar, and they had a red salsa and a green salsa. The salsa was a little chili verde. And the red, it looked like it might be hot. I don't think it was so mild, but it wasn't chunky. These were just straight up liquid salsas. And so I asked her, I said, do you have any pico de gallo, anything chunky? Oh, no. What about guacamole? Okay. Guacamole. Okay. Avocado. Jamon. No. By the way, I don't know if jamon means avocado. I think it does.
Because I don't think that Michael Jackson did a whole song about avocado.
He might have.
Jamon. Isn't that in that movie?
Tamale, are you okay? Tamale, are you okay? Are you okay, Tamale? Jamon. So they had none of those available. And I had to ask her 5 times for guacamole, and she said no. So they don't have jamones either, which is fine. So I went over and I filled up. They had the little, if you're ever going to a salsa bar, we have them in California, like when you go to like El Pollo Loco or a fancy taco truck, and you fill up these little plastic containers, and then you put a little lid on them to take you with. So I filled up 3 of the greens, and I filled up 3 of the reds, and I said, I'm going to bring these to my friend Lily. And then I looked around. Hey, you know what they don't have at Tamale House? Lids. They should have Lid House right next door. That would be pretty cool. Because I looked at her and I said, do you have a lid for these? And she's like, hey, I don't. And I said, a lid, a top. She said, top. I said, a hat. Do you have a hat for these? Like a little sombrero for the top. She's like, oh, no. She goes, hey, is it bad?
You literally asked her for a sombrero.
Yes, I did. Because, well, I asked 4 other times. She didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I said lid. I said top. I said hat. I said sombrero. Sombrero was the key. It got her. She fucking knew what I meant. So then she goes, no, there's a, right there. And she points, and I'm like, and there's, you know what they had? They had plastic bags. Like not even like Ziploc bags. They were freezer bags, you know, that you tuck the bag into the other bag, which sucks. Those always suck. Yeah. Don't ever get those. Or sandwich bags, I should say. Yeah. Those are sandwich bags. Freezer bags have the zip, but the fucking, the sandwich bags, it's just like it's like a bag with a belt. Fuck that, man. I want a bag that closes. So, I had done fucking 4 salsas of each. I just threw them out because I wasn't going to try to fucking negotiate and get them here. So I tossed them in the trash, man, which is awful. I don't like to waste salsa. I'm not that guy. I should have banged them down like shot glasses, but I couldn't bring myself to do that either.
Oh,
salsa. So I walked outside and I said, all right. And I, by the way, I should say this. I sent a photo to Lily. I texted it to her. I said, no chunky salsa. They only have these. Either of these do anything for you? And guess what? No answer. Too important. Doesn't bother with her texts. Couldn't fucking care less about me.
On the phone.
Yes, but this is a salsa question. I don't know who the fuck you were talking to, but you can put everybody on hold for a goddamn salsa question, right? Shouldn't you? I think you should. So she doesn't answer me, so I go, all right, fuck. I leave, and I have to go to another restaurant to get her some salsa because I'm a good person.
Go to another restaurant.
Well, because you don't eat chips without salsa. And I go, well, maybe I'll have to go to a supermarket, but then right next door to Tamale House, there's a convenience store. And I said, well, that's convenient. Come on, folks. So I walked in there. And again, this will tell you all you need to know about where Lily lives. I walked in, and they had like tamarinds on the counter. And featured prominently in the cooler was Mad Dog 2020. And I don't even know, like I know it's a wine or maybe it's a fortified wine. I don't fucking know. All I know it's what the poor drink. And I should tell you this, they market it like they market that Kool-Aid in gallons, where it's just, hey, do you want orange or do you want red or do you want bright green? That's what Mad Dog 2020 comes in. I don't think there's a flavor. It's just you want orange, you want red, or you want bright green. And while I pondered the Mad Dog 2020, I peered out of the corner of my eye and it said adult DVDs around the corner. Now, I should say not around the corner in the strip mall, actually around the corner in the convenience store itself. So I said, well, I guess where I'm going right now, I know there's no salsa over there. At least if there is, it's probably on the floor, and I don't want that particular salsa, but I'm still going to go take a look. And I go ahead and run the corner. And here's my favorite part. They have the swinging saloon doors like in the old days when you would go into a video store and you had to buckle up to a fucking porn saloon and go, hey, give me a shot of so I go ahead, but the saloon doors were short because, let's face it, everybody in this neighborhood is short. And I look over it and I looked at all the movies, and I should say this, there's probably like 60 movies in there. And I say that because I counted them all. That seems like a waste of my time. But I eyeballed it. And there's a lot of those movies. But here's a weird thing. I would say 95% of them were all black guy Mandingo porn. Hold on now.
What?
Wait, I phrased that poorly. Not all black guys in Mandingo porn. All of the DVDs were black guy Mandingo porn. And all with titles like, Slave to the Black Man, On Your Knees, Bitch. And it's literally the picture is you just see like one white eye peering out from a giant black cock in their face, just like, help me, like sadness. Like, because that's a genre now, I guess, of women being, involved with black dudes or white girls who can't escape, or because everybody in this nation is terrible. But it also said a lot to me about your neighborhood, that I would walk in and I could grab myself 4 different colors of Mad Dog 2020 and 4 Godzilla Mandingo porns before I even got to the bread. I didn't even get to the candy aisle. And I walk in and there's 4 white women in trouble caught behind a black cock fence. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. And the guy watched me as I turned the corner, and I was this thing. I did this on purpose because I'm a jerk. I peered over the saloon doors and I looked, and I just took 2 steps backward and I turned to my left because he was behind the counter watching me. He's looking at me and I just went, and I nodded. It was almost like I just almost looked at it like, yeah, I enjoy this vintage of porn, sir. And then I said, do you have salsa anywhere? And he's like, and he just gestures to a fucking aisle because he wants me out of his store quickly. And
not back there.
no, sir. Salsa is not behind the swinging saloon doors, sir. Eventually it'll be salsa. You got to work at it, but the salsa will show up. But he pointed me down the aisle, and there was paste picante sauce, but only the hot variety. And I wasn't sure if Lily wanted a hot thing in her mouth. If she did, her DVD would be on the shelf. So I said, all right, well. And then I went over to the chips, and luckily there was Tostitos salsa abounding. And so I grabbed a jar of that, and I fucking hustled out of there. And I did not buy a tamarind, although I glanced at them sideways, and walked out. And then I came over here, and like I said, I cleaned up my car, and I grabbed cooler, I grabbed microphone, and I grabbed my eggs and tamales, and her salsa was in the bag. So again, that's 3 things. I got it all. I got right there. My cooler, microphone, lunch. Cooler, microphone, lunch. 3 things. I'm out. And then I walk over, and I ring the doorbell, and Lily opens the door slowly, looking at the sun for the first time in a week, and gestures for me to enter her parlor. So I do, and I make my way through a forest of wigs. And we talk for a while, and we have a little discussion, and I set up my lunch, and I put everything down. And then I look around, and I'm like, all right, so here's my lunch. There's the cooler. I'm going to get a thing of water out of there. And I'm like, I wonder if I should set up the computer here to get, and I go, no, I'll finish lunch. So we talk, and I eat some lunch, then I put the stuff in the fridge, and then we talk about some things that are going on in her life. Because, again, I have not seen her. I saw her last night, but just for a brief short time. She was business Lily when I saw her. But I haven't seen her in like a month or so, since I got back into town and everything. So we had to talk a little bit about that, talk about her life, talk about things that were going on all over the place and all over the world, talk about politics as we often do, talk about everybody who's telling you the things you shouldn't talk about on social media. We had a fun conversation. And I said, all right, man, it might be time to record this show. And I leaned over and I went to grab, there's my cooler. That's one. Here's my microphone. I put it on the table. That's two. And I put my lunch in the fridge. That's three. Now, I know I'm missing something. And I'm like, it's supposed to be three. I need microphone. I need cooler because there's my water. I'm missing, Lily, where did I put my bag with my laptop in it? And Lily said, is it behind the wigs? And I said, I don't think so. I'm which wigs? She said, I would look into the north wigs first and then the south wigs and then possibly the east-west wigs. But I started looking around because her house is, it's a fun house of stuff. I mean, there's just like, literally, I'm not, this is not a joke. There's a riding crop. There is a leopard print and a Batgirl costume, like within reach of everything. I could grab Rob the Balloon Guy, I could grab Batgirl's corset, and I could grab a riding crop without leaving my chair. And if I stood up, I could grab a feather boa, a navy hat, and a witch's cap. I mean, it's like all of that is very close. You know what's not? My fucking laptop! Because when I left the house, in my head, I was like, all right, I need cooler, I need microphone and laptop. Cooler, microphone, laptop. Cooler, microphone, laptop. Fuck, forgot my water. I go inside, I put my stuff down, I grab a bottle of water. All right, cooler, microphone, water. Cooler, microphone, water. Forgot the fucking laptop in that equation because I only deal in threes. So, but I will also tell you this. There's that vague disturbance in the force within you where now I'm wondering if I brought my laptop and somehow left it in Tamale House, even though I know I didn't bring it in Tamale House, but you never fucking know now because I won't know until I actually physically have my eyes and hands on my laptop bag that it's safe. I've done that with my wallet before, where I'm like, fuck, where's my wallet? Fuck. Oh my God. Because you think of the last 8 places you were. And I'm like, well, I bought things in those places. Well, maybe I put it down in the last place. It wasn't the first 7, but maybe I should go anyway just in case. And then I go out to my car and there it is on the floor. So that's happened so many fucking times in my life. So now with the laptop, I don't have it. So I said to Lily, I'm like, fuck. And she goes, well, we'll just use my computer. And I said, you'll do that? And she's like, yeah. And then it made me go, well, why the fuck did you stop producing this goddamn show then? All of a sudden, she's so quick. She's like, yeah, we'll just use my computer. And the whole point was not using your computer before. It's why I've been fucking producing this fucking thing. God damn it. So she's like, I'll get my computer. And I go, well, now I'm disquieted. Now I don't feel good. Now I'm weird because I don't know where my laptop is. Because also, I will say this, I start looking around her house because it might be here. Because it could be under the witch's hat. Or it could be wrapped up in a boa. Or it could be under the east-west wigs. I have no idea. Perhaps that woman painted it with her ass and tits and now it blends into the background. I have no clue. But I have that because again, it's uneasy. I don't know where it is. I think it's at my house, but it could be fucking anywhere at this point. Did I put it down when I locked the door? Is it outside of my house? Again, you don't know until you fucking physically have it. So she goes, well, what are you going to do? Fucking go home and get it? And I'm like, well, I don't care for your tone, quite frankly. And then I said, well, no, I'm going to record a show. She goes, all right, that's what I thought. I go, yeah, but I'm still going to be fucking weird about it. And she's like, what else is fucking new? So then I enjoyed lunch and we had more talks about blackface and things of that nature. And then I was like, she's like, we really got to record a goddamn show. I mean, it's Tuesday afternoon. We got to get moving. And this is my favorite part. I've been here for a couple hours and she's like, yeah, I'm pretty much out of it now. This is usually when I'm spent at the end of the day. I'm like, you could have said that before you did 47 Instagram things before I fucking sat down here to record. But that's her thing, man. Whatever. So
I did 2 hours of work for you.
Yes, but you could have done that after we did the actual work.
I will be in bed not doing the other work I have to do for me.
Will you be in bed eating soup out of a drawer?
No.
You should. Oh my God. You know what? That's why I want to bet.
I can't see it.
This is what I'm going to do. Because I have just the Seagull bed that I sleep in still. And I have nothing else in my bedroom. I have a hutch that I keep my underwear in. It sounds weird. It's like a makeshift dresser. So it's got jeans, socks, whatever.
Are your underwear from China?
You know what's funny? You went that route. I thought you were going to go, are your socks in a Starsky? I wasn't sure where you were going with that. Nice. I like it. So I have a hutch that's kind of a makeshift dresser. It's like a tall dresser, tall, thin dresser. It's like the Slender Man. That's where I keep my clothes. I keep my clothes in a wooden Slender Man in my living room, in my bedroom. And then I have the Seagull bed, which I lie in and I dream of his cheekbones and do things to myself. But you know what I want? I want to get bedside tables. That's all I want, matching tables. But I'm going to keep a fucking slow cooker in my room. I think that's fucking hysterical. And I'll throw on some carnitas when I go to sleep, and I'll wake up and it's like, there's delicious breakfast carnitas. I don't even have to fucking move. How great would that be? See, this is along the lines of my Adult Swim show.
You will be on my 600-pound life soon.
I'm pretty close. I'm actually getting there. It's been a rough year and a half. Here's what I decided to do for 16 months. Hey, why don't we eat our feelings? Wouldn't that be smart?
Oh, is that part discussed in the first half of my 600-pound life?
When they eat their feelings?
Yeah.
I don't know. Their mouths are always full. I can't understand what they're saying. Just someone gnawing on a leg bone from some unidentified animal and getting a scolding from their doctor. We told you had to lose this weight. Just lying in a pool of their own drool and feces. Wash me! Somebody wash me! Get the stick! And then and look, it's terrible. Like I told you, as a guy who's lost 1 million pounds of weight back and forth and then put it back on and whatever the fuck, I feel bad for me, but I mean, that's my own fault. And I know, I own it. This is my own fucking choice. I went ahead and climbed back into a candy coffin and that's where it's going to get me buried unless I fucking grab the reins and fix my fucking life. That's
you
it.
don't like watching the second half of the show.
I'll live it. I don't want to watch it. Don't film me with my fucking reclamation project.
But why? That's the good part.
Well, here's why, and I'll tell you why. Because I did film my previous reclamation project. Facebook's a great reminder. 3 years ago, I looked fucking amazing. I mean, I got down to 254, and I was looking good. I did Never Not Funny, and people didn't know where the fuck I went. They were like, Jesus, that guy lost fucking weight. And then there's like one post that I actually saved it in my phone. It was my first day under 300 pounds, and I ran 3 miles on the treadmill. So I came home and I posted that, and it got like 250 likes, and people were like, awesome, keep it up, Schmitty. And here we are. 3 years fucking later, and I got to start all over again and do it again. So that's why nobody wants to see the second fucking half.
So is it that people were proud of you and happy, and that upset you?
No, it was more the fact that my head is a haunted house, and I didn't know what the fuck to do with myself, and I wound up eating my feelings for 18 months.
Okay.
And I lost the gig at Barbecue House, so I was very active for that. I was running to and from houses, running to and from the car. I made sure, and then instead of like when I'd be off in between shifts, I'd go to the beach and walk around. I wouldn't sit and eat. I wouldn't stare at television. I didn't bring candy bars I gave up candy. I just gave it up and I wasn't eating it. Then all of a sudden I reintroduced it into my life. And when you reintroduce eating 21 ounces of chocolate at least a day, combine that with unbelievable spurts of inactivity where your job keeps you in your car for 12 hours, you're not moving, and then you stop doing cardio altogether, well, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. You're going to be back busting your old pants out of the fucking closet and getting pissed off at yourself. And then it's easy to go into a death and shame spiral where you're like, fuck, I did this again. Holy fuck, I got up. And now you're mad because you erased all of your good works and now you've got to start all of them over again in order to achieve something. And you know what? If I do lose all this weight and I become the person that I want to be, nobody's going to want to fucking hear about it because I did it before and then I fucking relapsed. So that's why I'm saying, don't share your fucking triumphs or successes because when you inevitably fail, everybody's going to go, fuck, we knew that. And then everybody's going to want you fucking scale the mountain again.
Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to send this 15 minutes to Shannon.
She's heard it. Actually, she's here in my fold. Get out of there, lady. That's how terrible things have gotten. I hide my therapist. Oh, terrible. All right, so that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, like, nobody wants to see you triumph because inevitably you're going to backslide and then they got to watch that fucking happen in real time. And then they're like, well, I think Mike just grew a fucking beard to hide his face because he hates himself. And it's like, no, I think the beard actually looks pretty good. The hating myself just comes along as a side. It's like when you go get a combo meal. You just want the fucking Whopper. The fries and the drink, those just come with the price. So I'll tell you what, the beard looks good. The hating myself and hiding my fat face, that just comes as a bonus. That's the fries and the shake of my fucking beard. So that's the thing is I can't, how many times, I mean, this show's been on 9 years. How many times can I ask people to rally behind me? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. At this point, they got to be just like, yay. Which is what they should be posting on my social media posts, like I said, but not in that way, you dicks. Because I know you're going to do that now. You're going to like, yay, and you're all going to make, because Mex does that shit. Mex will be like, yay, period. And it's like, could you be enthused at all for anything I've done? Could you ever once be like, this is awesome, dude, we're having a great time, right? Nope, no, your mood is level and you choose not to participate in my reindeer games. You're always just like, yay. Oh, all right, sorry, I didn't mean to post that. Which is stupid because that's my own fucking brain. But now these people are all going to be like, yay, and it's going to be terrible.
They are now.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
You've just told them you're a kryptonite.
Look, fucking butter me, don't scrape me, all right? I don't mean to win.
They don't want to do either. They mostly want to guffaw.
I don't want to influence this poll, but I should be buttered, not scraped. Um,
where let me get to where we're at right now. Hold on.
hold on. This is good radio. This
Well,
is as
we
bad.
are.
Well, this is as bad as when I'm alone and I got to think of the name of the show, and I go to write it down. You're not even writing the names of the show down, producer. Ah, fuck! Don't do this to me again. This is like a month in a row of me having to pick the name.
We are at 5 guffaws, 3 butters, and 1 scrape.
Who the fuck scraped me? Don't. I don't want to know. That's the whole point of having participate in a poll.
Oh my God, that dick.
See?
I'm not even his friend. I don't know who it is.
But my point is, it's.
I just think it's funny that somebody added guffaw.
I don't.
It's winning.
Well, I can't believe you did that as a producer. I thought you would have locked it out with 2 choices, but somebody threw in guffaw.
I don't do polls, so I don't know how to lock it out.
I have heard that. I've literally heard that that's the opposite of your life.
Oh,
You
shut
do polls. You do so
I'm
many
gonna delete
polls.
this and start over.
The poll?
Yeah.
No, we got 10 people activated to listen to our poll for no reason. What are you
I'm
gonna?
gonna add. Don't add any more options, dicks.
No, don't do that. See, look at you trying to shit on our friends. But honestly, let's be honest. This is our audience. That's who they are. They are the MacGyvers of the internet fandom. They went ahead.
No, I just didn't set it up correctly.
Well, they jailbroke your poll is what they did.
Maybe they did break it.
They jailbroke your poll and they put in a new option because
I
that's
need-
what they
I
wanted.
need to change the settings on the West Side 86 Jokers. I need to stop giving them control.
I'm glad
I need
you're
to keep them
back.
from posting. No one's allowed to post.
Or join. No one can be in it. Just me and you. I like this. Hold on. This is actually turning out pretty good. Do we let Mex in? We got to let Mex in probably. Literally, it would just be me, you, and Mex, and every time we post something, Mex would just be like, yay. All right. So that's why there's an echo, folks. If there's an echo now, it's because I am a person who can't count to 4. That's exactly what it is. At my house, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And once 4
Like
came in there.
Chandelier.
What's Chandelier?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You don't know.
I don't. What is it?
Oh, it's a terrible song.
By who?
The chick that doesn't show her face.
I think I saw her in Kuwait. Yeah, I'm walking on that. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can follow me at Twitter.com/the40yearoldboy. You can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40yearoldboy. You can follow me at Instagram. I'm over there.
Oh my God.
At Instagram.com. I'm Mike40YOB. I'm on there. I'm on Snapchat.
Oh.
Mike40YOB. So Instagram and Snapchat, I'm Mike40YOB. Everywhere else, I'm the 40-year-old boy at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy, Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. I'm saying that more for Lily than for you guys because she can't seem to fucking keep track of it, but that's fine. So follow me or friend me or Snapchat me at all of those cool-ass places. Remember our great friend David Hernandez. Yay. He is the artwork and the music guru of this show. He does amazing things, and we're happy to have him doing them because he makes us look good, and that's fantastic. You can be his friend at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. You can go to Art by DMH and be his friend. If you've got any places where he could display his art, you think? Because he was thinking, I told you, he was thinking about a bunch of different places. He threw the question out. I told him to join Instagram and all those sorts of things, but I mean, that's a lot of... I mean, that guy's making dinner for kids every night, so it's really hard for him to join Instagram. But if you want to send him suggestions, like I said, get him through Facebook at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. And also go to artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com. Hey, do you like Big Trouble in Little China? Well, if you do, there's a great picture of Jack Burton that just went up for sale there at artbydmh.com. It's a painting, I should say, not a picture, but it's fucking unbelievable. And me. Sorry, I'm just doing Jack Burton. The check's in the mail. All right, I got to stop doing Jack Burton. But those pictures, those paintings are available. And all sorts of cool. He did a De Niro painting. He's got unbelievable paintings that you can pick up and take a look at over there at artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com. Check them out. Buy his artwork. He's got the Valscapes. He's got the Gycons. And he's just adding more and more content to it. Buy them, man. They're fucking awesome. Remember, Ryan Dirks does all the web stuff for us. You can find him at Facebook.com/Ryan Dirks. Running, you know what? I'll throw a plug to this guy, even though I don't know if he wants me to. Our buddy Gio, super fan Gio, not super fan of me, but super fan of others. He is doing our YouTube channel and doing amazing things. You can find him on Facebook at Facebook.com. He's Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. I don't know if you got to put all that in there, or if you can look at my friend list and find Giovanni and be his friend on there. He's also on Twitter. He does his own podcast. He does all the Loveline wrap-ups. He's a fucking machine, man. And I'm indebted to him because he stepped up and said, I'm going to do some cool stuff for you. And he's done it. So thank you, Gio. He's continuing. I think we're up to year 5 now on the YouTube channel. We'll talk about that on the other end. But good for him and good for us and good for you. You guys can go and listen to all the old shows there. I'll plug it later. Fuck, shut up. So Gio is our guy, superfan Gio. Not super fan of me, but super fan of others. And you can find him. He is doing all the big work, all the hard work, all the heavy lifting for this show on YouTube. And that's really cool. And I appreciate him for it. And of course, the producer of this show this week, absolutely. It's not even in name only. This week, she's behind the console. I don't even know how long we've done, because normally when I'm doing this now, I can look at the blue lines and then I'll jump in and I have an idea of where we're at. So I had to walk on that laugh, but I don't know where we're at time-wise, and now I'm freaking out about it because I'm like, is this enough show? I don't know if it is. Regardless, there's the laptop with its back to me. I just see a shining apple, but she's looking at the board because she's the producer. That's what she does, at least what she used to do, but now she did it, and she did it better than anybody else in the fucking world. That's Lily Von Stupp. She's the producer of this podcast. My great friend. You can find her at facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. Be her friend there if you would. Don't tag her in stuff. Also, don't tag her in notes where you write like multiple people. If you're going to write Lily. Don't write Lily and me and Dave all at the same time. Our friend Chris, I talked about that. I thought you said not to. Didn't you write that to him? I didn't want you to be annoyed. No. Our buddy Chris wrote me a note, but he tagged you in it, and then you wound up getting this note. And you were like, fuck you, Chris. Don't send me notes.
I don't think I did that.
That seems strong, probably, but it was something like that.
Private message?
Well, no, I've talked about him on the show here, and he thought, he was like, dude, you're so full of rage, you should get a CPAP machine, which I don't understand the leap, quite frankly. But then he included you.
Private message.
Yes, that's why I'm saying, don't message.
Okay, no, you were like, tag me. Don't include me in private messages.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about tagging me in posts.
No, you can tag Lily in posts, but I mean but it won't appear on her page because she's got all sorts of rules.
Everything has to be approved to go on my page.
Right, which is awesome.
I'm a dictator. I put the dick in dictator.
It's your page.
Wait, I'm a cunt too.
Oh my! All right, this is getting grim.
What?
Nothing. That's fine. So Lily Von Stupp is at facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. Be her friend, please. Go ahead and befriend her. And I said go ahead 4 times there. And if you want to find her at Instagram, she's Lily Von Stupp at Instagram.
Lily Von Stupp everywhere.
You know what? Especially at Twitter. So if you go to twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/MNTs, twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest, which is approaching. We'll talk about it on the other side. And twitter.com/Boobdini. You can find her there. She's doing all the cool things there, sending out tweets that you should follow and learn and read. But if you'd like to write her a personal note,
I'm holding right on the pause button right now.
And have her send you a private video about her feelings about blackface.
I knew that's where you were going.
You can write her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Thank you, Tom. Tom Faust, everyone. Can't tell you how excited we are to have you on the team. Anyone out there have a question for Tom? Better ask it now. He leaves for London in the morning. Oh, I see a hand in back.
Stand down, germ! Did you say a hand? Rest assured that what you call a hand is a claw capable of producing a grip strong enough to rip your treasonous lungs out through your soft human belly!
I didn't get your name.
I did not give it! I am Yeep, servant of Thorgar, the most rancorous of Gehenna's savages, an arch-fiend whose very gaze will turn your human blood black! Thorgar demands to know why this diseased shit-stained Tom Faust has been chosen for the London position! Thorgar has worked tirelessly for Lombardi Industries, eating the souls of all who have opposed his company's progress, crushing the skulls of rival CEOs in his jaws at the very instant he was inserting his cloven-hooved leg into the malignant vaginas of their women, their synchronized suffering only serving to fuel Thorgar's insatiable bloodlust.
Look, we appreciate all of our
Appreciation is not enough! Your ceremonial title of Employee of the Month, while certainly thoughtful, does nothing to quench the vile lord's thirst for the power he so richly deserves! You dare choose Tom Faust over Lord Thorgar, defiler of angels? You show favor to this Faust, who, though he carries the name of one in league with Mephistopheles, is nothing more than the cancerous afterbirth resulting from the syphilitic coupling of mere mortals. This is your new head of accounts receivable, London Division? Unacceptable!
I'm starting to think you're not a team player yet.
That's Yeep! Thorgar tires of your impudence! Know that your decision here today impacts not just but every past and future member of your decaying lineage. Those with Fausto Lombardi blood are now doomed to an eternity in hell's barren landscape, with unspeakable tortures amplified to ever more horrifying agonies. Their anuses will be constantly overfilled with the vomit of goblins, while their backs will be broken so their mouths can be twisted into position to catch the never-ending runoff. Hell's imps will squat over the faces, forcing endless diarrhea through their digestive systems like an unholy centrifuge. From this moment on, there will never be a moment when a Faust or Lombardi is not being force-fed from an anus, perhaps even tasting the bitter feces from the blistered colon of Thorgar himself. Consider this the abominable one's 2-week notice. Farewell! Excuse me, one more thing. Thorgar would like to know if he qualifies for Cobra.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every month. The pointing happened. I got pointed at. It's the good old days. Her computer's freezing. This is kind of freaky. Because we just did that. It was a one-take Jake, this early part of the show. And then I finished and she's like, my computer just froze. I'm like, fuck. I had a death mask on because I don't know if you heard the beginning of the show. That's not scripted. That was a lot of stuff that came out of nowhere and it's a bunch of silliness. And it was the bees. It's a bees show. So it was a lot of, stuff flying out of my skull at rapid speed, and I'm talking at the speed of my head. And then if the show freezes, we lose the whole thing. And then I go home sad, and I put up a rerun because there's no point in doing another after I've gone ahead and vomited out that kind of content for you and then had it disappear into the ether. But luckily, she was able to save Project as the spinning wheel of death went away, and here we are now in the second half. Hopefully, you can save this as well.
Boy, I hope so.
It's worth it. I'm sorry, is that your phone? Is that the Smithsonian? Perhaps they would like this for posterity. Do you have any content that has vomit out content on it? I think we do. Hi. So I want to remind you guys about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica. It's a fantastic show filled with exposed labias and pointy nipples. Oh my God, it's so great. You should check it out. It's a lot of lip service, if you know what I'm talking about. Come on. A lot of people out there. There's like a kissing booth. That's pretty fun. But the ladies are upside down in it. Look at that. Look at the fun you'll have. Go there. Spend all your money. I don't know if any of this is true. I haven't been in the show in a while, but I guess maybe this is the, you know what? This is the Monday Night Teas I would create if I was in charge of it. An upside down kissing booth and a lot of loose labia. Oh my God, I'm in. It sounds perfect. So go check that out, man. See it. Get a speculum on and look at your future. Go peer directly into your pink future at the Monday Night Teas. That's what I say you should do. I happen to know the producer of that show. She could probably answer some of these questions as to whether these things happen or not.
No, they do not. Your alternative facts do not make sense here.
I don't know if that's true. We'll agree to disagree on that fact. But I'm telling you, if you would just say to me, yes, that might happen, people would buy tickets and rush in the door.
No.
Armed with speculums. Dressed like the guys in Around the World in 50 days or whatever the fuck, or 40 days. Around the World in 40 nights.
80.
I did it in 40. Fuck you. All right, so. The Around the World, one of those guys shows up with a fucking big stovepipe hat dressed like Bill the Butcher, and he's got a vest and a fucking watch fob. And he comes in with a speculum and he appears in your lady parts. You want that guy at the show. You want a bunch of those guys at the show.
I don't want anyone with a speculum at the show.
What if they just wanted it signed?
$25, same as downtown.
All right, you got that, folks. So that's Lily Von Stupp. She's the producer of said show. Hi, Lily.
Hi, Michael.
How are you doing?
I'm fabulous.
Fantastic. And you're not frozen? Nothing's freezing?
Not right now.
Continuing to chat? All right,
My
that's good
knee
news.
is frozen, but
Well, it's allergic to smoke. That'll happen. And is your jaw frozen?
jaw's locked right now. I can't open my mouth all the way.
Well, the rest of this show, the plans I had are out the window.
I did my joke last night where I go down on a microphone and I pretty much fucked my jaw up again.
Whoa, dude, that's grim.
Yeah, I can't open my mouth all the way. Anytime I do it, I have pain for 2 days.
But worth it sometimes.
I don't give blowjobs anymore because I can't. It hurts too much.
You heard it here first. There's a scoop for you.
Yeah, there's a scoop. No BJs.
Sorry, guys. And you know what? And it is, from what I understand, according to the internet with its bullshit nonsense, steak and blowjob day.
It is.
So it looks like you're giving me a steak.
I'm not giving you anything. Eddie's getting a steak.
God damn it.
And I might be inviting a friend over for a blowjob. I don't know.
Whoa. To help Eddie out. You had to take your place while you're making the steak. So he gets blowjob and steak day. He flips it around.
I should not make jokes like that in case Eddie's parents ever hear this.
What if they did? What if they ever stumbled into this fucking show? How bananas would that be?
They think I'm weird enough.
Well, the good part is if they hear this, they'll be like, now we know why.
Well, at least Eddie's getting a blowjob.
Well, no, they'll be like, you're hanging out with that dude? Now we understand a whole lot about this. Now, if you'll just sign my speculum, you can marry our son.
Should I give away speculums?
What, at the show?
Autographed
Or to
speculums?
people
Should I
here?
sell those?
Yeah, sell them. Why not? Used.
No.
Yes.
No.
Dude, in fucking Japan, they got vending machines with used panties in them.
I don't think they're used.
They are. No, fuck that. There are dirty panty vending machines in there.
We
DPVM.
need to take a trip to Japan.
I'm on a go. It's on my agenda. It's on my. That's where I had a. Dude, I was gonna go. I was gonna go to the Galapagos Islands. I was gonna go to Japan.
You know you still can.
I was gonna go
You're
to
not
Ireland.
dead.
Yeah, I am. All of my travel plans have been they've extinguished. As if it were a 1700s castle, and a butler came along and put out my flame.
When you stop with the candy wars that you've been having with yourself, can you invest all of that money in a ticket to Japan? How much do you think you spent on candy in the last 18 months?
18 months?
Yeah.
Boy, that's grim. You got to figure it. They were 2 for $4 for a while, and then 2 for $5. So if they were 2 for $4, I'd buy 4. So that was 8 a day. So that's
But you wouldn't
96.
eat 8 a day.
Well, it's $8 a day.
Yeah, but you wouldn't eat all of those in one day. would you?
Sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't. Usually I ate
Okay,
2 a
so
day.
Let's just say $7 a day, $49 a week. We'll round it up to $50.
Well, we'll say 6 a day because they were 2 for $4, then they were 2 for $5. So it was like, it was around there. So we'll just cut it to 6 a day. So over, you figure that's
So
about a year.
$50 a week for 52 weeks. That's I'm sorry, for what is a year and a half?
That's about a couple grand.
So you could have gone to Japan on candy alone.
Do they have candy in Japan? You know what they have in Japan? I bought Funky Oreos once. They had blueberry Oreos.
Apparently, they have funky underwear in Japan too.
They do, and it's for sale in the DPVM.
Are they 2 for $4?
Holy fuck, I don't know. They use yen. Which is handy because I got a yen for some dirty panties.
We need Japan. Do you know why you can't go to Japan and work?
Why is
You
that?
don't speak Japanese.
So's you.
That's why I can't go there and MC burlesque shows because they'd all be like, ha 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 ha.
Well, I'm just like a big monster gaijin. They would point at me and just be like, yeah.
We could do a Pokemon tour.
We could do remember the super angry happy gaijin yelling hour? Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, we could do that. We could go ahead and book that in Japan. And they'll never understand a word I say, but just because I'm like fuming and my beard is lurking, they'll be like, he's hilarious. So funny. But then I think we're overlooking the fact that Godzilla's going to show up and then there's trouble.
But we're not Japanese, so
We're safe, but our audience is crushed. I hope he comes after they pay.
Okay, let's not go to Japan.
What if the dirty panty vending machine, but it was dirty like they put it in ramen? Like it wasn't like dirty with like, yeah, it wasn't like Japanese vagina dirty. It was like just bowl of soup dirty, which would be like, I guess it's still dirty, but it's not the kind of dirty I was paying for. If I buy dirty panties, I want them fucking Japanesed up. I want them tucked in and moved around and all that kind of stuff. I want them slept in
Ever
and
bought dirty panties?
define bought.
You paid for dinner and kept them.
I actually did that. You know that. We talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
We used to take underwear from our conquests and put them on the wall in Tahoe. That was fun. Pam was so happy when I did that for her. Even better were the girls that DJ brought home and fucked in the bedroom with our panties hanging on the wall. Those are some classy dames.
Again, classes defined by what you find humorous.
They wanted dick. I mean, they didn't give a fuck what was on the wall. Who cares? I mean, seriously, and I don't blame them at all. Fuck. I mean, they could show up here and they'd be like, wow, it's a goddamn wig and painting festival in here. Let's fuck. And I'd be like, all right, sounds like the jam. And I like to pump up the jam, pump it up. Like the joint is pumping. The fuck are we talking about? Something fun, right?
Monday Night Tuesday.
Dirty panties in a vending machine. Which is not like dirty jeans in the washing machine, which is what I used to, a girl I dated. I won't say her name, but she had a friend named Vera who was hot. And which I love the fact that I hid one name and said the other just in case the ex is listening and she can hear that I thought her friend Vera was hot. But there was no doubt because she introduced her as her hot friend Vera, and she was. And she had that fucking, remember the chick on American Idol a few years ago? She was like a Carmine or some shit.
I don't watch reality shows.
Listen to me, it wasn't reality. It's American Idol. So there was a fucking hot. She was she had that Italian look, that New York Italian look to her, And then all of a sudden, like photos of her in like bikini bottoms and her finger in her ass like came out while she was on the show or whatever. Like dirty photos of her came out. And I was like, yeah, that's it was like a Carmela, like one of those, like a fucking weird Italian name. You know what I mean? Zanoni. That seems wrong. It wouldn't be Zanoni. That's Stephanie Zanoni from Greece. All right. So I don't know who it was, but it was, so anyway, that's what Vera looked like. Vera was just fucking, gorgeous. And the girl I was dating was really, I thought, really pretty and really, attractive. But then her friend Vera walked in and you were just like, oh yeah, I see why you called her your hot friend Vera. But then she told me, one time we were listening to the radio, the song Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap came on by AC/DC. And she said, she goes, Vera thought this song forever. When we were kids, she thought this song was Dirty Jeans in the Washing Machine. And I was like, well, we should probably change Hot Vera to Stupid Vera at this point because it's not even close. Like, listen to that song. It's not even fucking close to Dirty Jeans in the Washing Machine. If you're having trouble with the high school head, he's giving you the dirty jeans in the washing machine. Not even close. Not even in the neighborhood. Fuck, man. It made me mad. Honestly, it's so irrationally mad. And then I guess we stopped dating eventually after that because it's all I could talk about. Of course, I also broke her windshield. All right, so yes?
I love that song as well as Warm Laundrette.
Oh, you like that one too? Oh, good Lord. So I don't get. So yeah, Hot Vera I think should be either Deaf Vera or Dumb Vera. And Dumb Vera is so dumb.
How dumb is she?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. Look, I can't do that. It's a copyright infringement. So, folks, the Monday Night Teas.
Yeah, it happens Monday. Come.
Used speculums. Come and get them signed.
I don't think any of that is true.
Well, bring your speculum. It'll get used there, and then they'll sign them. How's that? That's a better arrangement, right? Then you don't have to provide the speculum. You just got to provide the speculum house. Just give them a baby house to peer into and then sign it up. Get a Sharpie, scrawl your name on there. Yeah, this has the essence of me on the tip. There you go. I may not know how the speculum works, but still.
No.
It's like, no, I've seen speculums in those old movies when they're on a pirate ship and they're like, hand it to me and they look for land. That's how a speculum works.
Yeah, that is actually closer.
It's like a spyglass. They just unroll it and they put it back in. I like it. You can make a homemade speculum with a shoebox and a pinhole, from what I understand. You can go ahead and determine whether your wife has ovarian cancer by putting a shoebox on your head and looking through it backwards.
I'm hoping that Eddie will do that later for me because I'm about to lose my health care.
Well, I didn't realize it was steak and homemade speculum day, so good for you. You got to get that blowjob over here to hustle, and then when he's in the grips of it, when he's in the throes of blowjob pleasure, you can go, by the way, put this shoebox on your head and take a peek. And then he's going to go, whoa, and he'll and you guys will be perfect. He'll go ahead and analyze you, and he'll diagnose you.
It's really weird that I'm creeped out about you talking about Eddie getting a blowjob.
Well, I don't. It's no prize for me either.
Well, he's a civilian in this show.
Yes.
And so it's like, yeah, it's just weird to think that he would be.
Well, you brought it up, first of all.
I made a joke and I shouldn't have, and I realized that was wrong of me.
Good. So wrap yourself in
his
this.
life is not open for fodder. Mine is.
Yes. So own it. Wrap yourself in this shame and keep it for yourself because you did this.
I don't wrap myself in shame.
Well, see, this is your problem.
No.
If you somehow could wrap yourself in shame, you would understand how the other half lives, and you would not hate everybody so much.
Shame is a very bad thing. Understanding that you've hurt someone or understanding that there was an issue that caused pain is one thing, but to feel shame for something is not. There are very few things that a normal person leading a normal life will ever have to feel shame for. Unless you're out murdering people and raping them and robbing and doing, terrible destructive things on purpose to other people, there's not a whole lot to be shameful for.
Thanks, Dr. Melfi.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah, put those down. Put your glasses on. Put the thing that goes behind your ear in your mouth and talk. There you go. Say something slowly.
I can't because I have this thing in my mouth.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, it's in my brain. It's not glasses. It's steak and glasses mouth day. All right,
anyway, Monday Night Teas is going to be great. Come. But what's more important about that right now for fans of the 40-Year-Old Boy is what's happening before that.
Well, sure, but do we know? So last night, I will tell you this: I was in the 3 clubs on Vine at Santa Monica last night because we had a 2020 show. Yes, it was fantastic. With the very funny Sophia Alexandra and the very funny Tom Clark, who came to town and did their business, went up and did their standing up material routines, comedy type stuff, and they were so good. And then I was up there yammering like a goof, like I always do. And now Lily's gonna yell at me because she's like, "Why do you sell yourself short and say that you're the goof and you're not a professional and all those things?" And she's right. I spent half the time on stage talking about, wait, there's professional comedians coming up as long as we get through my nonsense. And then I'm fucking hilarious, which can't be argued. Absolutely not. But then, of course, Sophia and Tom come up and they do actual acts with jokes, which is smart because that's what comedians do. I go up and I talk in circles. But the 2020 show is available to you. Why are you sighing at me? So what? Say something.
I'm not sighing at you. I'm sighing because I have a headache and we've been doing this a long time now. Been
Wow.
A long day
No.
for me.
You know what's funny?
I'm in a lot of pain.
I thought that was going to be about like me and what we were talking about.
I'm in a
And
lot
instead
of
you're just like,
pain.
get the fuck out of my house. That's what that sigh
I'm
was.
just in a lot of pain.
All right.
So it's,
Sounds
you
like get the fuck out of your
I
house.
can't see out of my right eye and it hurts really bad right now.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, I'm sorry about this. We got to wrap up
No,
because
it's just you made it all about you like I was saying. It's like, no, sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes it's just life.
Mom wants us to go home. She
Oh
thinks we
my
should go ahead and
God.
we got a curfew.
What's happening next week?
You know, I was at 2020 last night. A fantastic show with Sophia Alexandra, and Tom Clark, our good friends. You can visit them on Facebook or at their respective websites.
Tom said something that made me laugh so hard it hurt.
Yeah. I don't know.
can't remember.
He said a lot of things very funny. Well, that was a great show. However, you know, for the first time, we're actually trying to do 2020 twice in a month.
What?
It's weird doing it on consecutive weeks, I will not lie, but I've been lucky enough to score some very funny comedians to join me. Next week, Pamela Walt will be joining me. She's very funny. And my good friend and very funny compadre in the world of comedy, Eddie Pepitone, will be there next week. He's the fucking greatest. He is. Look, you may know Eddie from his many podcast appearances. You may know Eddie from his many television and movie appearances. You may know him from his very own documentary, The Bitter Buddha. I don't know how behind the curtain the Bitter Buddha allowed you to peek on Eddie, but let me tell you, there is not a sweeter guy in the fucking world than Eddie Pepitone. In addition to being the funniest, coolest guy, this is a dude who walks among giants in comedy. He is recognized, he is loved, he is seen as one of the best in the world, and yet, if I haven't seen him for a year, I can walk up to him and he's like, Mike! And we talk about New York Giants and Chicago Bears football because he's the sweetest, fucking coolest guy in the world.
Yep.
And his wife, Karen, is fantastic. And I will say this about Karen. She was one of my earliest supporters in Los Angeles. Back when I did topical material, she loved it because she and Eddie are both very active politically. And, I don't know where they fall on the spectrum. I think they're Trump guys. No, that's probably not true. I'm teasing. But when I first started doing stand-up here in 97, 98, Karen would come out and see me at Borders Books, and then she was at the Scary Electric show. They would come support me all the time, and they would say to me, you should be writing on shows. You're very funny. And so Karen was always a fan. And then she met Eddie, and they were all together all the time, and I thought that was the fucking coolest, and now they're married. So Karen's always been a terrific, fun, cool friend of mine, and Eddie, again, sweetest guy in the fucking world, but on top of all that, funny as a motherfucker. One of the funniest guys in the world. So Eddie Pepitone will be there next week. Pamela Walt, terrific, coming out to the show also. And me. I'll be the first guy you see next week when you come out. Tickets are available now at brownpapertickets.com. Tickets are also available at the door if you want to do that sort of thing. But I don't think you want to with Eddie Pepitone in town. There may be a stampede. They may be bursting down the saloon-type doors there at the 3 clubs on Vine at Santa Monica just to get a peek at the Bitter Buddha as he performs his magic. Or as he sits down on the stage and immolates himself via monks. That's more monks, right? That's not bitter. He's not a bitter monk. He's a bitter Buddha. But still, amazing show. Going to be fantastic. Is it just brownpapertickets.com or where else are they available?
2020.bpt.me.
2020.bpt.me, and that's the numbers 2020.bpt.me.
And of course, we have a new Facebook page that's slowly being populated.
Well, it's just come up today because Lily decided to do 2 hours of work before we did the actual show because she's the best, and I haven't seen her in a while. And I proposed an idea: why don't we have a 2020 Facebook page? I was of the mind that I would build it tonight when I got home. She's like, "Let's fucking do it now."
Well, I knew you wouldn't get to it.
Well, you never know. I mean, there's so much on my plate. But yeah, there was that and the Instagram stuff where I want to promote a lot more effectively because we have another show in April as well. And when we get closer to that, I'll tell you about it. But I think starting in June, we might do the two shows a month permanently. I don't know. It all depends on Lily's relationship with the club and if she still wants to do it then. And if she and I are still talking, who knows what's going to happen. But right now, the important date for you to understand is March 20th, next Monday, 2020. Me, how great is that? 2020. It's the 20th. So it's 2020. Come out on that and see that show. It's me, Pamela Walt, Eddie Pepitone. Tickets are at 202020.bpt.me, and Brown Paper Tickets put in the name 202020. All of it. It's fantastic. Come and enjoy the show, like last night's show, which blew people away. They're still talking about it all over the country, or the city, or the block, or the showroom, or the stage. I don't know that, but there's chatter. I know there's chatter out there. So please come and join the chatter next week. We'd love to see you. We have a sponsor. Our good friend, Jerome.
Yeah.
Bring me my hat. Jerome has getthebutters.com. Go to getthebutters.com and buy butters and balms and bombs and lubes. All that stuff is available, along with facial masks and skin rubs and skin masks and dead skin masks, and all of that stuff is there for you to purchase. But more importantly, like I've said, there's butters and balms and bombs and lubes. Those four things that's the crux of the business. So you want to build a business, you want 4 sturdy girders that you can go ahead and put the foundation on. And what you do is you build it on butters and balms and bombs and lubes. You're not going to go wrong. You're going to be a success. And then you're going to reach out to the podcasting community and go, you know what, Mike Schmidt, why don't you do me a favor and let me sponsor you? And I say, I don't know if you're going to make $1. He goes, well, I don't care. I love your fucking show, man. And I go, fantastic, Jerome, you're the best. Remember that when you don't make $1. And he's like, all right, I'm going to send you a box full of scrubs. I said, that's cool. But maybe some butters, some bombs, and some lubes would help as well. He goes, done. Sending. And what I'm telling you is if you buy these things, he'll send them to you as well. It's going to be, that's right. You'll get,
work?
I don't know how it works. It's commerce. It's capitalism. Sure, it's destroying our country from the very top down, but right now it's helping this podcast broadcast one more week. So go to Jerome's getthebutters.com, buy balms and butters and bombs and lubes, and bring them to your house and use them all at once. Lube up a ball, lube up a bomb and shove it inside yourself. Whatever hole you got, put it in your mouth, your ear. Lube up, get some butters and balms and lubes and use that to butter up a bomb. Balm up a bomb, butter up a bomb, lube up a bomb, and put it inside you. Lube up a bomb, a bomb, a bomb, a bomb. Do that. And then butter up a ram, or llama, ding dong. Do me a favor. Lube up the bop with the bop, shoo bop. And then butter up the dip with the dip. Who was that man? I'd like to shake his hand. He made my baby fall in love with me. Folks, I'm going to do 50 songs, sort of doo-woppy, the rest of the show. That's how I plan to do it. I'll tell you this, because you know what those butters and balms and lubes are good for? Poison ivy. Poison. That's right. I bring out the coasters, goddammit. At night while you're sleeping, poison ivy comes a-creeping around. Ow, 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 ow. Mumps will make you mumpy. And lumps will make you lumpy, and chicken pops will make you itch and scratch. What if I did all the Coaster songs? Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. How the fuck do I know the Coasters catalog? All right, enough. Go to Jerome's getthebutters.com and buy balms and bombs and lubes and butters. Get them all, please, quickly. And use the code 40YOB. I should probably mention that. Don't just buy stuff. Use the code 40YOB. It helps you. It helps us. And it really helps Jerome. Speaking of people who sponsor the show and help the show, Superfan Geo, beloved by all, other than everybody who meets him. But he is, I only say that because this dude has got a story. Like I always have stories and I'm like, yeah, this thing happened once where a bad thing happened. And then Geo will send me a text and he's like, I was attacked by dogs. And I'm like, what? Yeah, sorry I haven't uploaded any YouTube stuff. My fingers were chewed off in an accident with canines. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, my neighbor pulled his pickup truck and he punched me in the back of the head while I was getting my mail. And I'm not joking. These are not jokes. He literally shares these stories with me. And I literally don't know what to say. I have to text back. I'm like, all right, well, I hope you get the YouTube channel done before you die. I mean, like literally, what else do I say? But he's that guy. He's got a turmoil driven life down there and wherever he lives. I don't want to say where, because you know why? Because then the next text I'll get is, oh, Schmitty, you gave my address out and these motherfuckers found me and they cut my hamstrings and then had my dogs eat my legs. And I'll be like, God damn it, dude. Did you get any more shows uploaded? So that's our friend Superfan Geo doing the YouTube channel, 40-year-old boy YouTube channel. You know who subscribed this week? Noted Washington Wizards fan Joel Fowler. That's right. He's a good friend of mine. He took me to the Washington Wizards game when I was there for Kickstarter. He won the dinner with me. And then we went to a Thai place, a Vietnamese place. I don't know, but it was good. It was fucking delicious. And then we went out to the fucking Wizards game, which was fantastic. And so that's Joel Fowler. He's now watching me on YouTube right now. He's ignoring this, by the way. He doesn't even know that I'm talking about him. I just heard a dog. You're a
What
dog?
city is the Wizards?
Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have dogs.
Oh, okay.
Store.
I see. Yeah, I heard them.
Yeah. I probably didn't play onto the show, but yeah.
Perhaps they heard my mention of famous Washington Wizards fan Joel Fowler and just wanted to participate in the show.
Oh, they were very excited.
They've been listening this entire time, could not care less about one fucking... Even when I said Gio was attacked by dogs, they didn't care. But when I mentioned Joel Fowler, oh my God. Oh, are you talking about famous Washington Wizard fan Joel Fowler? Of course I am. Joel Fowler, who I actually got mad at when we went to dinner that one time. I didn't care for his tone. All right, I told that show, go to year 3. It's on YouTube. Check it out. Or year 4. I don't remember when I went on tour because I used to do that when I had a fucking career and I made a CD in
You still have a
2012.
career. You just aren't doing anything right
Shut up. All right, so I'm going to get a slow cooker in my room. It's going to be fucking amazing. I'm going to have breakfast carnitas waiting for me when I wake up. Dude, that's a brilliant idea. A slow cooker in your bedroom? Just fucking throw a bunch of fucking meat and vegetables in there and then you wake up and go, just lean over and grab a handful of fucking lamb. All right. So go to the YouTube channel and do me a favor. If you want to listen to shows, they're on there. That's pretty cool. Listening to stuff is great. And eventually we'll be making more videos and content. Mex has put some stuff up there. We've got some other videos like me doing stand-up from a million years ago. Those are cool. Eventually, maybe we'll film a 2020. We'll film my set and throw that up there. That would be a good thing. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. Until YouTube kicks me off because they realize I'm a nobody. But you can fix that. Because you can go in and sign up to subscribe to my channel and make them think I'm a hitter. You can like videos, you can comment on them, you can do all that cool stuff. But subscribe because it lets them see subscriber numbers and then that drives advertising. And then I wind up someday I'll break the $30 mark, which is going to be fucking amazing over there at YouTube. I think I'm at $29.
Woohoo!
Yeah. But here's the thing from superfan Gio, not a super fan of me, but super fan of others. I do not know if that's $30 flat or $30 a month. I don't know how YouTube handles their money. I go in and I see a number and it grows exponentially because people are subscribing and stuff, but not exponentially enough for me, I guess. That seems weird. That sounds like a duck now, not a dog. And you guys can't even hear that, so I apologize. So anyway, the bottom line is the YouTube channel's there. Go watch some shows. Go subscribe, more importantly. Comment, like, tell your friends. Don't do that. That would be fucking weird. Hey, there's a guy I listen to on a podcast. You want to see him on YouTube? And your friends are like, no. Slam a door in your face. And then the next thing you know, your body parts are in a vending machine in Japan. That's no fun for anybody. I don't know how that escalated, although it escalated quickly. I will not lie, from a door slam to somebody getting chopped up and put into a vending machine. But that stuff can happen. That's the world we live in, folks. So before that happens to you, subscribe on my channel. Because here's the good thing. If you get chopped up and killed, you're still a subscriber. It's not like your YouTube thing goes away. And I still think I'm a hitter. Even a dead guy loves me. How perfect is that? Or a dead lady. If a lady gets chopped up, I don't want to be sexist. So who knows who gets chopped up in this world? I don't control who gets chopped up. So please subscribe at YouTube, and that would be cool. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. There's all sorts of cool stuff there. We've got, and that's a lie, all the same stuff is there, but still. We've got the merch page, which is the Joe Business page. We've got still CDs available for sale. We've got the deal with tweakedaudio.com. Use the 40YOB code. That's still available. We've got t-shirts. Your dirt shirts are still available because we thought those were a good idea at one point in time. And the download sets are for sale. Hey, Nick, thanks, man. Our friend Nick just bought year 7. He now is caught up. He's got to buy year 8, of course, if he wants to. He doesn't have to because it's going to be on YouTube eventually. But thank you, Nick. That's totally cool of you supporting the show and buying cool stuff. And I want to say a cool thank you to Nicole, who is a sponsor of the show. And then she canceled her donations for the month. And so I wrote her a note and I said, hey, man, that's cool. I appreciate you supporting us as long as you did. And she's like, no, man, bandits stole my debit card. So eventually I'll be re-upping. And I was like, that's a great story to put me off the trail. Or I'm sorry to hear about your debit card.
Maybe she's just waiting for the Patreon page.
I don't know. What is that again? I don't know what you're talking about. See, I don't want to mention that because then people are going to be like, oh, dude, you mentioned that and you didn't.
I mention it every time we sit here because it was supposed to be done before you went to Kuwait.
Anyway, it's on the way. It's being, well, how am I supposed to do that when now you got me doing all this Instagram nonsense?
I don't have you doing any Instagram
You put the Facebook 2020 page on my plate and that bumps Patreon to the end of the line,
the
man.
2020 page is literally you uploading a couple photos to it.
End of the line,
Literally,
man.
I will have to do because I took all the photos at the shows.
End of the line, man.
Buff.
Patreon's at the back of the
Buff.
queue.
Buff.
So again, folks, there may be just you heard the word Patreon. Keep it in your skull. It might happen eventually, or it will, I should say. But don't hold me to that and get mad. Because why should I ask you for money? But I always do. All right, never mind. This is let's have that conversation again, should we? All right, so Joe Business. If you want to just donate to the show, straight up donate to the show, there's a little Schmitty in the upper left-hand corner. Click on him. And like I said, like our friend Nicole just did, and you'll be donating to the show and helping things out. That's pretty cool. But eventually, when the Patreon page goes up, you'll get stuff for your donations. And I'm trying to figure out how to handle that, too, because that's another problem that I've opened in my brain. People have been donating to the show for a long time. Mm-hmm. So I want to include them in Patreon and give them the rewards as well.
You're stuck on shit that is irrelevant. Put the page up. If people want to donate, they don't want shit.
But people who've donated to the show are going to be like, dude, how come we didn't get rewards?
They're donating because they donated. Patreon is the same way. You're the only one in the world obsessed with giving gifts.
Because people are nice.
Then here's what you should do. You should simply say, donate to the Patreon page, and I'm just going to give you a gift. Don't do levels. Just do a gift for people donating. They're going to donate what they can, just like they did before. They expect nothing but greatness out of you.
Well,
shut up. That is your gift.
That's unfortunate for them.
The gift is that you're still doing it.
Could the gift possibly be you stop yelling?
No.
That made me laugh. All right, so anyway, so good. Thank you for that, and I will eventually take that to heart. So that's all exists, and go there to Joe Business.
Fuck.
No, you're right. You're cool. I agree. It should happen. I agree. But people don't want. Nobody wants to come in and go, here's a free $10 for nothing, and I'll be like, hey,
They've been doing it now.
I know, and they're sad now. They're like, what the fuck, man?
Nobody is going, oh my God, I donate to Mike and I'm getting nothing for it.
That's
They're
exactly.
like, oh yay, I give Mike money every month and there's a podcast. That's great. They're not looking for more than that.
Yay. Well, we will talk about that in the future, I'm sure. We'll have that discussion. But people want to, they want a bang for their buck. And they've got the bucks, so I got to provide the bang. All right, so Joe Business exists. Go there and buy a bunch of shit. And eventually there'll be a Patreon page, and who the fuck cares? There you go. All right, so, and then we've plugged YouTube. I guess do we have any other plugs to do? I got that show. I'm in the Broke LA Comedy Festival. I told you guys that last week. That's pretty cool. That's coming up in early April. I'm one of 30 comics in a tent.
Where is that?
It's downtown LA. I literally don't know. I don't know, man. It's called the Broke LA Comedy Festival. I've received nothing other than them saying, congratulations, we want you at Broke LA. And then I said, great. And I've not received anything because they were like, there'll be press opportunities and luncheons and all this shit. And I'm like, I haven't heard a fucking thing. So I'm on standby, ready to plug this goddamn thing. There were 30 comics chosen, including our great friends Kyle Kinane, who's a good friend of ours. And I think our friend Valerie Tassi is in it as well, who I had at 2020. But regardless, that's April 8th. I believe it's a Saturday, and it's a bunch of bands and food and comedy.
You're on their website.
Oh, all right. Well, I should be. I submitted a bunch of stuff, which is great.
You're good to go. Look at this. Look at you, pretty in pink.
Yes. So.
I love that picture of you.
Well, you're nice to say so. Thank you. I'm glad. Is that one of the headshots? It's probably one of the headshots.
Yeah.
All right, good. So there you go, man. So I'm at Broke LA and on April 8th. Buy some tickets and come out and let's have food and watch bands and listen to me do 10 minutes of standing up comedy in a tent. I'm not sure if it's 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 9 minutes or 80 minutes, but there's 30 of us to go through a whole day, so I would assume it's not going to be a big set. But I'm excited to be a fucking part of it, and was really, fuck it, I was fucking proud. I'll be honest. I submitted. They had over like 1,000 comics try it, and I'm one of the 30 they picked. So fucking great. So if you want to come out and check it out, that'd be cool. I was say cruel, but it'd be actually cool.
What did you submit?
Clips of, I told them who I am. I gave them the URL and stuff for this show. I sent them clips of me online doing stand-up from the old days. And I said, these are clips from 10 years ago because they are topical and they're dated. I said, but if you want something newer, I have it. But you can go to my YouTube channel. You can go to my podcast channel.
Cool.
And I think it was more the fact that I have a footprint. I don't know if my material got me in the door. I think it was the fact that they see that I have an Instagram, I got a YouTube, I got, and I have a fan base, loyal and rabid and willing to do cool things with me, and that's great. So there you go. So including bring your speculums. I'll sign your speculum at Broke LA if you want to bring that. That'll be fun. So please come on out to that show. And I don't know if tickets are available just yet or if they are or they aren't. Hey, if you want to be an Uber driver or a Lyft driver, fucking write me and I'll send you the code. Well, because honestly, people will write me and I give it to them and then they sign up and then they don't drive. So, I mean, I don't get any money, which is fine and that's okay. But I hate plugging it on the show because, look, I didn't want to fucking do that stuff. But then in my head, I'm like, well, there's money to be made, but there's really not money to be made. I thought I'd be the Uber pimp and instead I'm the Uber simp. Simp. Uber simp's like a thing from the 50s, like a simpleton.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm an Uber simp. And now I'm going to go kick these fucking dogs in the skull and get them to shut up. I don't know what's happening out there. And now I'm going to bring my tamales home and go have dinner. And then you and I are going to go outside right now and talk about Instagram and all sorts of cool stuff, right? Don't we have another meeting to have? Should we have another meeting? Is that possible? Just you and I sit down and knock a lot of information around and talk about this and talk about that. And maybe we'll go find my laptop. Would you come with me? We'll go ahead and check out where my laptop. Oh, wait, you can't. You've got a steak to make. So there's no way you can join me in finding my laptop, for fuck's sake. I'll tell you, you want to hook people in, get them halfway through a recipe and cut your fucking show in half. That's it. Do an hour about stewing this bale, get on a plane, and then come back and revisit it 2 days later, because that's the most important stew in the universe. Were there noodles or rice involved? Stay tuned!
We here, we are playing on a level that most will never see.